I'm not gonna peek the mic. There's no point in peeking the mic this time. You know what I'm saying? It just doesn't feel right anymore. It's just I don't have the shouting in me to be quite honest with you. You know, just feel like, you know, turn up the gain on the mic a little bit and just talking to you guys. I'll just being honest with you. You know. Wait for it. Hello and welcome to the Bonfire Lit Comfy Cast for this. I don't know what day it is, but it's a Friday, and you know what that means. It's noon. It's time for us to talk about some stuff. Hi. It's good to see you. Just kidding. Get out of my house. I am joined today by nobody good. You know, honestly, if any of these people were even remotely worth talking to, I could appreciate it, but, you know, at this point, no. No, not really. Not feeling it. Not anymore. Who are they? Whomst. Whomst is these niggas. Talk to me. Talketh.
Hello.
How are we doing?
Pretty good.
Is Pokey dead?
Possibly.
Good.
Very possible.
Hopefully he was off to the land of Beefy and Baja. But if not, welcome to the Bonfire Lit Comfy Cast. We don't have a big bombastic intro this week. No. Just hanging out, just booling with the boys.
Well, you want to get political?
Yeah, so Charlottesville, right? Let me hit you with this. So the frame data on white supremacy really isn't as good as it used to be after the 19.50. They say it's plus, but I've definitely punished it with a negative move. So, you know, it's just, you know, it's just a big mess. Everybody's just pressing buttons. Big button.
Yeah, it's a button mashing. It's a party game like Smash.
Exactly. Everyone's spawning in items. The Tiki Torch, especially, has been a very popular one to drop.
It drops all the time.
Absolutely. So, but yeah, you know, just fucking... Just be chill. Just be chill. What have we been doing? What have we been up to? It's been a week. We're back on schedule.
I've been movieing.
We're back on our bullshit. So both of you have been movieing, as I understand it. I've been doing shit. Talk to me.
Let's see. Damn, what have I watched? Let's see. Rogue One was boring as fuck.
What? Oh, you saw Rogue One. So far the ones I know you've seen have been the Raid 2, 10 Cloverfield Lane, Alien Resurrection, and the Raid 2. Well, you didn't talk about this. You didn't talk about this last time. You just watched it.
Yeah. Okay, so, like, I started catching up on all the films that I haven't seen in a long ass time, because I just, or ever really, you know, shit that's come out within the past 2 years, or even further back. Started off with the Rogue One. That's where my journey started. With shit. Then I went to Suicide Squad. Shit. Then I went to Ghostbusters 2016. Shit. Then I went to 10 Cloverfield Lane. 99% fucking excellent. Last percent of shit. Then we had a movie night where we watched fucking Alien Covenant. That was shit. And then we had a movie night where we watched fucking The Raid, the first one, and John Wick, the original, and they were fucking excellent. And then last night was Raid 2. Raid 2 was really, really good. Had some pacing issues because it's an hour longer than the last film, and it doesn't need to be.
Okay.
Yeah, whatever. Yeah. That's what I've been doing. Movies.
Because, you know, everybody here hates video games.
Fuck video games. Well, I mean, aside from the fact that we've been playing Guilty Gear off and on, and
yeah, so
playing some Tekken 7 with Nick.
Oh, okay. I can get on some Tekken. I need to get you on Unreal, but I might want to wait until Unis comes to PC.
Right. Yeah, that's the latest one.
Yeah, it's been out, like, this footage for Unist goes back like a year, because it's been in the arcade for a minute. It just hit consoles in Japan in July, and it's supposed to hit the US console and supposedly PC soon-ish?
This year, yeah. That's what they said.
That's what they say, I don't know. Well, PC's not even confirmed, is it just console?
I wouldn't be surprised if it wasn't PC, but I don't know.
I hope so. Because I wanna play the updated Akatsuki. Because isn't he like the best character in the game now after the changes?
He's a top character.
He should be. Look at this. Look at these fucking combos. This guy's pressing buttons. 6C, everybody. 6C. It's a good button. But anyway. So you've been doing a little bit of that, Pokey. Dax, I need you to talk to me. What have you been up to?
Alien Covenant is the worst goddamn movie I've seen in a long fucking time.
Yeah,
Holy shit.
boy.
Oh yeah, I forget you were here for this.
Yeah.
Watched it together.
And I didn't watch I didn't watch Tinkler Full Name with Mark, but I have seen it a few months back and pretty much in the same agreement. It's excellent, except for that last 7 minutes or so. It's kind of garbo. Man. But it's what the director wanted. Suck my balls. But other than that, I haven't really been watching as many movies. Just been kind of reorganizing my whole computer area setup, build a new PC for like multimedia use, all the streaming, all that kind of stuff, and got a whole area sort of set up from that in one of our extra rooms, and pretty comfy.
That's the life. That's the life. I'm feeling it.
And aside from that, a lot of fucking Sonic Mania, and we'll touch on that later.
Yeah, boy.
So as far as I go, really, it's just been a little bit of Unio, a little bit of Blaze Blue, Brebru Central Fiction, a little bit of Guilty Gear. Not a whole lot of Devil May Cry, but that's going to change as I need to start recording footage for the video that I'm working on. No Bayonetta, no Transformers, a little bit of Neo. I got back into Neo, picked up from where I left off. I got to the Spider chapter. I got through that. The Spider boss was fucking easy, surprisingly. That shit was freemium. But now I'm stuck. Well, I say stuck. It's not like I've done a shit ton of attempts. But when I left off, I was fighting the Ice Lady, the bitch that throws her scythe and shit. I think it's a scythe, or it's like a Naginata. I don't know. It's a fucking Dakimakura. It's fucking bitch throwing. This bitch is throwing fucking rice noodles at me, and it's fucking crazy.
Yeah. Jelly donuts.
Yeah, jelly donuts. Watermelon flavored soda. Grape drink. All manner of shit coming my way, and it's a good fight so far. It's just I remember why I stopped playing Neo, because there's this one type of enemy that fucking insta-killed me. So this one type of what are they yokai? This one demon basically, like, he has a big tongue. He's just this big fucker. He punches hard, and for some reason he has an instant kill, or at least it's an instant kill on me. The thing where, like, he grabs you with his tongue, he flings you around, and he basically just SBDs you to death. And I took one of those crisp to the face, and I was like, I think I'm done for the night. But so far, the game is good still. I haven't touched any of the DLC. I don't know if or when I will, but yeah, it's a solid title. Go try out Neo if you have a PlayStation 4 and you want to play a good game, because everybody's still got buyer's remorse from Persona 5, so can remedy that real quick. Yeah, that's about it. Also, I'm playing I got like one solid 6-hour session in on Unio. Like, so far I really like Akatsuki. It sucks too because, like, Yuzuria has one of my favorite color options, and she's a cool character. It's just that she's, like, fucking crazy difficult to play. And also, I didn't even realize that game didn't have a tutorial at all.
No.
Like, there's a YouTube series for Uni.
Yeah.
There's a tutorial in Unist, but if you want to learn, like, what the fuck a chain shift is or what it does, you have to go onto YouTube and some dude translated it.
It's unfortunate because Unist actually has, like, a very, very thorough and well thought out tutorial mode.
Yeah, that's from everything I've seen on Twitter.
There
People
are even
popping off about that.
There are even segments that will it's really brilliant. It's very simple. It's really brilliant. I don't really see a lot of games do that, or any other game do this really, where it'll go over trying to teach the idea of safe block strings versus unsafe block strings, and so it does. So you have a character, and it'll be like ABC DP versus ABC Fireball, that sort of thing.
Yeah,
and it'll clearly indicate to you through, like, these kind of like the glowing little hitbox indicators and all this other time. So it'll explain it in detail for beginners, and even simple things like that are really nice. But yeah, it's very thorough in that. After I have the Japanese version, and I have a lot of, like, the fucking pages and pages and pages of docs because there's a lot of menus and other shit that you need to kind of reference to translate.
Yeah.
It reminds me of when All-Star Battle came out and we were all trying to do the same thing. But yeah, I'm excited for when it's actually fully in English and everyone can see it. It's very cool.
It'll be great.
Yeah, base version doesn't really have a whole lot, unfortunately.
It's all good though. The game feels good. The game feels great. It's nice and
Great game.
it's a little bit slow now that I've played a bit of Guilty Gear and sort of gotten used to the idea of instant air dashes.
And so to me, it's not. Yeah, no, I understand that, but it's definitely, I guess for me, not a.
It's not that big of a deal.
Slow. Well, it's not a slow game to me, but
fair. But now it's like, yeah, just having fun with a lot of different fighters. None of them are not anime. I've not gotten any real matches in with BlazBlue, mostly because Platinum and Kevin in particular keep ducking me. Well, fuck, he's the one who plays the game the most, and he refuses to play a match with me. I don't know, like, at best I'm gonna play Mai and, like, mash out the easiest fucking combos ever. I don't know neutral. It's so good. But yeah, so that's what we've been up to. If only there was someone... I'm secretly checking the Discord to see if BB snuck in. I think he's out, like, doing white people things. I don't know. I hope so.
Poor boy.
You know? But right.
White people and responsibilities. All right.
Everyone knows we're ducking them. Hey, you guys want to hit up Home Depot later? For no real reason, of course. I just want to see if you guys are down to go to Home Depot. Maybe Lowe's.
Yeah, I need equipment for my barbecue.
Yeah, I need a lot of equipment. Got to make it real festive. Just, you know, I'll pick up a safety lighter. Wait, how many of those tiki torches do you think were lit with safety lighters? Oh my god, that would be amazing. Alright. So, news time. It's time for the news shit. I need to pull up this trailer, apparently. So, Marvel vs. Capcom Infinite has a new story trailer out, and I only have one question, Pokey. Did we see Venom before?
Before what they showed there?
Yeah.
No, they didn't show anything of Venom prior to that.
But that is Venom, right?
Okay,
they say symbiote.
Yeah, it looks symbiotic.
But
and
I mean,
Spider-Man's in a really shitty black costume.
Yeah.
Do you think they would go with... Do you think that Capcom would show off the fucking Gyaru costume for fucking Spider-Man?
I don't know, but whatever the fucking symbiote did, it definitely fixed Chris's face, and thank God.
Yeah. Well, that's not the only thing it fixed. Jesus Christ, have you seen? You're gonna see Chun-Li here in a second.
Yeah, Chun-Li definitely looks way better.
A handful of these renders, like if we were to, when it loops back, you'll see like this big, I think, symbiote monster, like the thing that's got the beak and shit. I don't know if it's from Monster Hunter or anything like that, but it's just this big monster, and it looks like, you know, War of the Monsters for PS2.
Yeah.
I remember that.
And like how it showed in the intro cutscene all the little humans that looked like garbage. Like when you look at Frank West back in that shot, he looks so low res.
Yeah.
So the game's visuals are still a little fugly, but they did fix some stuff in this trailer, and I think that's what they were trying to show off, weirdly enough, as well as giving Jeddah a little bit of face time. Jesus.
I love that they're emphasizing the completely unclean mocap animation. Dr. Light looks so shitty.
Yeah.
Well, not even that.
Like, he looks like a person wearing a costume.
Well, it's funny because everyone that we've already seen animations of or models of or whatever in previous cutscenes, like a lot of these are from previous story mode trailers. Yeah. They've all noticeably gotten better, but anyone who's new, like the Venom monster, the Dr. Light's model, it's all like, oh, it's obviously shit. So maybe later on it'll get better, but all the stuff we've seen previously is improved. And anything that's new is kind of garbo.
Am I the only one who seems like to see some type of not synchronization? I guess synchronization, but like there's definitely some weird shit going on with the audio and the lip sync with the mocap. I don't know if this is being like done quite literally, where they just have lines or lip flaps done for the Japanese lines, and then they just threw the dub on top of it.
What I see happen a lot when it comes to mocap trailers, I've seen this a lot in English trailers for JRPGs. Particularly, mainly ones that they do kind of restart the lip sync a little bit at least. Because what will happen is that they try to cut it. You know how a lot of the Japanese trailers will do it, where it's like everyone's just constantly talking for like 7.5 minutes. Do you remember that old World of Final Fantasy trailer where people are just talking constantly?
Yeah.
And there's never just like gameplay. It's just people talking and saying inconsequential lines that don't actually line up. Like they're just picking them apart, just throwing them into a fucking hat, pulling them out. And it's like, all right, here's a line.
Yeah.
And it's kind of like that where it'll be like, Chun-Li's walking forward and she's saying a line, but they have it overlapping because they want the timing of the trailer to be a specific way, but they only have this one shot instead of it, because it might be a shot, say Chun-Li says 4 words, and then the next 5 words of her sentence, the camera angle changes to it immediately cuts to a different shot of a character. In this case, they want the entire shot of that line to be Chun-Li, so they move it slightly up, that sort of thing. Like I've seen that a lot. That's likely what's happening, although it could also just be it's just the original Japanese lip sync and it's all shit.
I hope that's how the final game looks.
I typically see the former. So that's what I'm assuming, because and the way a lot of like the stuff is cut and edited, they're just trying to get as many lines in there without just pulling straight from the original shots.
Well, the thing, like, I feel like the game is going to look jank no matter what, because it seems to be animated in the same way that the Street Fighter V story mode was. Yeah, where it's just like, I wish, like, there was a webcam on. I wish I had the Discord thing so I could just show you, like, Chun-Li, when she's just walking around in that, she just has, like, these fucking huge gorilla shoulders, and they're just, like, positioned in a weird way, so it's, like, you can just see how long her limbs are when they're not posing for something.
Right.
That's just sort of what I see going on here.
When you look at something like, for example, one of the few shots that actually looks really good is when Hulk tosses Ryu. Yeah. Because it's all animated it's all hand animated. And they're using a dynamic POV on the camera. What?
Briefly about that. Every time I see that Hulk throwing Ryu, it looks like he's about to just grab his ass.
Yeah.
I love the way it's shot.
Really good. There are a handful of things like that look pretty solid. Even stuff like that one shot when the camera pulls back when Jeddah throws his scythe.
Yeah.
Like the way that's kind of done, and you only really see it when it's an action shot when the camera's doing a lot of quick movement or it's tracking an object or that kind of thing. Obviously they're doing that, but like the one when they all jump awkwardly into Doctor Strange's portal and it's like, woo, we're jumping in the pool, that sort of thing. It just looks kind of I don't know, it looks kind of weird and floaty, that sort of thing.
Yeah.
Because of the mocap, and it's, again, I'm gonna compare this to a lot of modern JRPGs, and I think like Mark and I were talking about this a night or two ago, where I understand doing those games, even though it still looks like shit objectively. 95% of the time, it looks like awkward mocap models with like, okay, those real life creepy anime faces where it's like the stickers and it's like the models. It looks like people are wearing those over their heads.
Yeah.
And so they have these like large anime heads, but they're moving them really quickly, and they do the awkward mocap. Like everyone's slightly twitching and shaking because it's exact mocap. It's not really cleaned up in post, anything like that.
Infinite Undiscovery is one of the biggest fucking examples.
That's a really good example. Yeah. So you have that, but I understand it when there's like fucking 40 hours of cutscenes and you just can't. You don't have the fucking time to animate it because you're too busy writing shit dialogue because it's a fucking JRPG. But when you have a game like this where it's a fucking like. It's the mode itself, you're gonna beat it in like 2 hours. It's gonna be maybe 40 minutes worth of actual scenes.
Yeah.
So in the same thing for Street Fighter V. I don't know why you wouldn't go out of your way to just like really make it fucking look great and like animate it well. Obviously, I understand this game's under huge time constraints and they're just going with what the fuck ever. But they've already done it with SF5, and I'm sure Capcom was like, you guys just do mocap. And I wouldn't be surprised if there are a lot of people on the team who are like, well, we'd rather. And they're like, fuck you, mocap. Yeah. It's exactly the same sort of just janky, shaky mocap model shit that we saw in SF5. Although honestly, this looks a lot better than SF5 from what I can already tell, but still, only because like certain action shots already look a lot more dynamic and well animated than a lot of stuff in 5. 5 is fucking garbage. But yeah, it's kind of a shame to see that, because I think about stuff like all the cutscenes in Smash Bros. Brawl, like Subspace Emissary. Subspace Emissary was tight as fuck, and like God, the scene when they're fucking when they all hop in their airships and they're trying to fight the big battle station. What were they fighting? No, it's after they get back Meta Knight's ship, I think. Right. I don't know. Like all that shit was super tight, and having the big crossover thing along with just like well handled animation was really nice, and I wish we could see more of that, but. Fortunately, it gets bogged down by, do mocap. So, I don't know, and even just little glimpses of some of the action shots I've seen already look better. Here's the thing: when we saw the original trailer, when we played like the story mode demo, which is such, I wish that demo never fucking came out because it's such a bad representation. Even like 2 days later, seeing E3 footage or like a build at E3 that people could play, and it's already 100 times better. It's a shame.
Oh yeah.
But like you would see the action shots in that, and it's so fucking janky and bad. But even like the shots I'm seeing where like there's a shot pulls back where like Ghost Rider whips the Venom thing, and like all these other characters, like all those little bits immediately look 100,000 times better than just these really janky things where it's like, I don't know, some character would get hit. I don't know what it is when someone takes a big hit like in a mocap fight and they do this awkward like stumble stagger. And like Thor wouldn't do that.
Yeah.
Thor wouldn't stumble back and be like, oh no. Like they either try to sell it where he gets flown into a fucking wall like Dragon Ball style, or he's just gonna like not take the hit. It's like one or the other. Yeah,
but the awkward stagger reminds me heavily of like Toku shit. Reminds me a lot of like Power Rangers.
Yeah, yeah, exactly.
Someone takes a slash to the chest and they do that awkward stumble back, like oh, fuck.
Right. Yeah. So it's a lot of that, and but yeah, I mean it's I'm happy it's getting better and it's something, but goddamn, just it's a shame just compare because again I always think of stuff like Brawl,
yeah,
where it's like just really well animated scenes that are just fun to look at. Like I'll fucking every so often I'll just load up a bunch of the cutscenes on YouTube and watch them because they're just still fun to fucking look at. It's like these could have the same thing, but
yeah.
Also, Rocket Raccoon's face actually looks a lot better. I just noticed.
They
they darken the entire eye instead of having like the kind of crazy people, and the hair effects the hair doesn't look nearly as
spider-like.
I don't even know what you would fucking call it.
He looked like a fucking tarantula. I don't know what the hell else to say.
Chris used to look like a really gay luchador. So he's like they pulled his mouth out a little bit. It's not so puckered anymore. He's still gay, just not a luchador.
He's still gay.
Yeah. So it's getting better.
Who knows, man? God bless. Fucking.
And I will say a lot of the effects for like metal armor, particularly like Iron Man and X, do look really good. I will say
that sort of like
stuff does look really nice. Yeah.
I agree. Like I still don't really prefer this visual style, but I do agree. To dig for positives. Yeah, the metallic sheens do look nice.
Well, finally, even just like the way a lot of the edges are rounded and pretty consistent. And I'm assuming this is all. I'm seeing a lot of this in 60 FPS. I'm assuming this is all in game. Like I'm finally seeing glimpses where it's like, okay, I can see this benefiting from current hardware. Because for a while I was like, all right, this is, 2007 PS3.
This would have been shit last gen.
Yeah. So I'm actually starting to see, things art style wise. I still don't care for it, but at least it's being.
Have you noticed the texturing on Jeddah changed a bit?
It is. It's not so. Yeah, it's got some more depth to it. It's not.
Yeah.
So
now rather than looking like polymer, he now looks like those foam noodles that you take to the pool. He looks like he's made out of that material.
Yeah.
I think it's just time to accept we're never gonna get them using the Xrd style and fucking that up too. Yeah. Tarantula Man, Rocket Raccoon walking around an Xrd engine, dude. Come here. What up, boys? You know who it is.
Well, and hey, at least at the end of the day, PC version is going to get modded the fuck. You all know that.
We're going to mod it in.
People are going to mod in the Xrd shaders.
I would love that.
And remodel, like, people are going to go fucking ham because I've already seen some really cool stuff done on Marvel 3. Although Marvel 3 base game doesn't really need a lot of changing as far as like just base models and everything, but people have put in some cool work. And people have improved SF5 a lot through models.
Hey,
yeah, they have.
So I'm very interested to see what happens with that.
I just hope that you don't need some sort of complicated always open loader like how you do for SF4. You know that what's it like, the toy chest or whatever the hell it's called? Where you
something like
load,
that.
Yeah.
Whatever it is, it sort of helps make the game look a little bit less shit.
Yeah, it helps the game look less shit. I just don't want to have a separate program open.
Speaking of things looking less shit, I think it's time for us to look at the young Shenmue 3 renders. I want to pull this up. Where is this? You showed this somewhere, Pokey.
Oh no.
Yeah, well, I mean, last time I posted it was on the other server.
Oh shit! I'm not gonna go dig through that. Shenmue
Well,
3.
no. I can find it on fucking Jamatsu.
Deep Silver. So our boys. I wonder how old. How old is the Shenmue 3 footage? Because
you mean the initial footage that was brought out?
Yeah, because well, what else have we had since then?
This
shit came out in 15? Jesus Christ. This has been hard. This has been tough. OD, if you will. What the fuck happened to Shenmue 3, dude? I don't get it.
I really don't like Ryo's new face. God damn it, where is this? Oh, here it is, I found it.
So, two pieces of news worth talking about here. The first is that Deep Silver picked up the project, Shenmue 3, and they're going to be publishing it. So, that's another one for the Deep Silver fucking money laundering scheme. Didn't they pick up Bloodstained? Or was that... Deep Silver picked up something that was fucking...
No, I think it was 505 Games picked up Bloodstained. Deep Silver published... they published Mighty Number 9.
Mighty Number 9,
They published They published a shitload of Atlas games in Europe. That's also worth taking note of.
Jesus Christ.
Fucking... Yeah, Deep Silver has their hands in a lot of games. Pussies.
Yeah.
I don't... Like, they as a company, though... I don't like them. I've heard stories about them as on a personal basis, like how they've gone to PAX, which is a place that typically houses indie games, or at least it did back in the day. Yeah. And indie games typically having like a good relationship with like YouTubers and Twitch streamers and stuff like that. Yeah. When said YouTubers and Twitch streamers tried to get like Dead Island Riptide footage, or like any form of gameplay capturing from Deep Silver at like PAX, whatever the fuck it was, way back in the day.
Right.
They were telling them to fuck off because they were only looking for magazine press and like IGN shit like that. Yeah, so like there's that. That's a thing. But yeah, I honestly I don't feel one thing one way or the other. The fact that Deep Silver's handling this, just those renders.
I'm just happy. Like, I hope this means that we'll see footage for it soon, new footage. But like, okay, I'm gonna blow this up a little bit on stream so you can all see. So, hold on, I need to find a good reference point because I know there definitely is one. So, talk to me about what we're looking at here.
Rio,
do you see what I see?
So this is the way I reference them. I feel like you guys pretty much understood what I was talking about. So if anyone in the chat, if any can think about all those early 2000s point and click games for like PC and PS2 that would come out, that would all have your basic portrait, chest high portrait render on top of some static background with like some shitty fucking scribbled font in the middle, all white.
Right.
Every Siberia and shit like that.
Every fucking game. No offense to any of those games. Some of them are good.
Yeah.
But that was like what you did. But now it's 2017 and we still doing it.
So just for reference, let's say this is for reference. We're just gonna go ahead and drop these off right here. Pick your save system. Gold or yellow, boys. Gold or yellow. This shit looks old. I don't know how else to put it. These guys look like extras in a game from, like, the 7th generation. I don't get it. I don't understand. What the fuck? Like, it's not even that the renders necessarily... Like, these renders look really good for, like, an indie project, which I guess is what this is.
It is, yeah.
But, they also definitely shielded on the stage of E3.
I'm just gonna say, fucking Ryo's face is fucking me up. Because that is not what it looks like in Shenmue 2 and 3.
Yeah, they definitely kind of squished him a little bit.
Yeah, he's got that weird bug-eyed...
He looks like younger.
Thing going on. He does look a little bit younger because his mouth is like up more so than the other Ryo, whose mouth is a little bit lower. So it kind of gives him that sort of like... I'm not fully grown into my face kind of thing.
Yeah. Well, it doesn't look like he's like this wise, this wise dude who's really contemplating life. He's just like, oh man, thinking emoji.
Yeah. Oh, now that needs to be an emoji.
Hold on, wait a minute. Take a look.
Draw the hand on him.
Take a look, everybody.
Got to carve out the head. Got to put the hand there.
I gotta save this. Gotta save this for a minute. You know what I'm saying? So here we have the Exhibit A coming in hot. 6 Exhibit B. Can you tell the difference? Because I cannot. I cannot. Now as to you know, this is literally just shitting on the game. I can't even talk about any gameplay that was shown because they didn't show any fucking gameplay. They still haven't, and I don't know when they will. But yeehaw, buddy.
I mean, it's worth pointing out because I know someone's going to misinterpret this as like preemptively shitting on the game itself.
No, I'm actively shitting on it.
I'm still looking forward to Shenmue 3 Super Hardcore, especially if they're going to keep the fucking Virtua Fighter fighting system. Like, I'm all about that Shenmue life.
Especially if they're going to keep the Virtua Fighter 2 art style. I'm all about
Man, Virtua Fighter 2 looks better than this. It's just like, God, that fucking Ryo face. I hate it.
Which will come out first, Kingdom Hearts 3 or Shenmue 3? Well, I mean...
one will be in the same.
Dude! If you were going to do a combo deal, it would be you open up the Kingdom Hearts 3 disc and it's just Shenmue 3.
Yeah.
You open up the Shenmue 3 disc and it's just KH3.
You fucking boot up Kingdom Hearts 3 and you go to Shenmue World first. You have to save
and
Ryo's father from being killed.
Sora and the gang still look like toys.
No. They get straight up PS2 models, like PS2 renders, and it just goes back. They just pull the fucking HD models from 2.5.
It's just to protect the world order, Sora. They look at Ryo and they're like, "Oh, dude, it's a Heartless." No, dude. No, he's fine.
No, he's fine.
Oh, Jesus.
He was just born that way.
I was drawn this way. Help me. Oh, shit. Okay. That's literally all. So fucking Deep Silver's not a mark against it per se. It's just funny.
Yeah, they're just cons. That's really all it comes down to.
Well, I mean, now that it has like a straight up Punisher.
Yeah.
Or publisher. Fuck.
It's the same thing. Same thing. That's why I didn't correct
It's like now they should probably actually start getting a boot in the ass to show stuff. Like maybe a Gamescom. I don't know. Like
okay, you're showing that Shenmue 3 footage, that old Shenmue 3 footage. The faces are even better in that.
Yeah.
Like she looks more like her. I can't even fucking remember her name. It's like it's not coming to me, but she looks more like herself there. And Ryo is kind of hard to tell because he's all over the place, so he can't really focus on his face. But like, hold on, maybe this shot's gonna see. Ryo's not that great looking here either, but like, still, like her at least, she looks more similar to her older self. Can't even fucking remember her name.
Yeah, it's gonna be good, guys. It's gonna be really good.
Good video game.
Yeah. So, what stretch goals did this shit hit?
It hit a great majority of them, not all of them though.
We didn't get
so basically there's a whole bunch of like sub quests, different areas to explore and shit like that. Additional mini games, which means a lot to Shenmue, because Shenmue is all about like just chilling at arcades.
Mm.
All right.
Okay, it's not all about that, but you know, you go there a lot.
The fate of Shenmue is in your hands now.
The Suzuki and you.
Game currently is $6.7 million. Jesus Christ. Mm-hmm. I wonder how long it's going to take him to burn through the rest of the petty cash fund. Oh, God. Anyway, that's all the Shenmue footage. That's it. The inside lore, the headcanon that I've developed is that these renders have simply taken the ugly out of Marvel vs. Capcom Infinite. It's absorbed it.
Mm-hmm.
It took all of its pain into itself, and there you go. There you have it. So now, moving on to the next point, onto a game that definitely doesn't look like MVCI or Shenmue 3.
Oh yeah.
It's Dragon Ball Waifu Z. So,
my girl's there.
The best girl is there with the worst boy.
Mm-hmm.
Hey,
I said it. Fuck you. Fuck both of you. Fuck both of you.
Wait.
Hey.
You shitting on Krill or are you shitting on 16?
16, 100%. What the fuck? Nobody
Oh.
likes it. Nobody likes
I like
Android 16. Fuck that
I'll say
bitch.
Nigga.
I like 16, but like if you were shitting on Krill, like then there would have been beef.
I would never shit on Krillin. He got the best girl, dude.
That's why I was 16 though.
He's a little bitch.
I don't have any problem with 16. I like him, but but like, I mean, he's still inconsequential to me, so it's like, all right, like, I'll let him take the bullet.
He's a
I mean,
good
he
boy.
took the bullet himself. He is a good boy. I mean, you know, he's all about smiling without a body.
He's like, Gohan,
Oh, wait. I take it back.
you can have all of my MP3s.
Never mind. I take it back. 16 is good. 17 is the fucker. I forgot. Okay.
Oh,
I mixed up my numbers.
Yeah,
I mixed up my
17's the
numbers.
shitbag.
Yeah, fuck 17. 16's cool. 16's the homie.
16 is a homie. 17's a cunt. And I hear Super 17 has a weird story.
He gave me all his CDs, his bootleg CDs, dude. So, I need to get this footage on stream. I need to find these renders. So basically, in a magazine, I like how we're still getting major news announcements from print, where they come in hot with technically 4 character announcements in a magazine. Like, so we got. Let me find it. I need to find these images because they're not bad looking. They're not bad looking per se. We got Super Saiyan God Super Saiyan. I'm not gonna say Super Saiyan Blue. You gotta emphasize just how deep down the rabbit hole it goes. And so we have Super Saiyan God Super Saiyan Goku, Super Saiyan God Super Saiyan Vegeta.
It's a goddamn tongue twister.
Yeah.
It can be a little tough. I manage. I navigate the claymores very well. None of these look all that great.
I gotta ask. Did Vegeta ever go Super Saiyan God? Super Saiyan?
Yes, he did in.
Okay.
Wasn't that in the Frieza movie?
I didn't watch the Return of Frieza.
Yeah, they may both do it.
Yeah, they both went in blue form because
they didn't have the blue form until that because they did the God shit.
Yeah.
That's right. They
Beerus.
did God in that Battle of Gods.
Yeah,
or whatever,
yeah.
And then they did the blue form with both of them in the Frieza movie.
Yeah, because I've seen nothing of Super or any of the films that predate, that lead into Super.
Right.
And I've also not seen, I've not seen much of GT, but I hear GT's not canon anymore and it's shit anyway, so fuck it.
Fuck it. Okay, fucking suck my dick. Suck my dick, boy. So, I need to click for larger images.
But yeah, like I want to know that fucking Vegeta has power.
Whoa. So, we got, I'm putting this on the stream real quick. Direct to you from Event Hubs. Here we have Super Saiyan God, Super Saiyan Goku. I need to find a clip of Super Saiyan God, Super Saiyan Vegeta. But we also had... Oh, he's on the page with Android 18 and 16. Cool. So, boom. Where is it? There it is. Hot. Yeet. Boom. Damn. Expand. Expand dong. Where is the dong? I need to expand it. Hell yeah, buddy. Super Saiyan God, Super Saiyan Vegeta. And, Android 18, the waifu. Android 16, the homie.
That's the important announcement.
Those are the really important announcements. I don't fucking... So, they got these fucking Persona-ass fucking pie chart shit like it's Pokemon for, like, speed and power and shit for these characters. And I didn't see the ones for Goku, like for regular Goku and a regular Vegeta, but is there, like, a difference here? I don't know what these are supposed to mean, because, like, isn't Super Saiyan God Super Saiyan just, like... all parameters are just expanding outside of the charts, like, fuck your shit?
These charts that they're showing here, they've already said, like, a while ago, I can't remember what interview it was, but they were like, don't think about power levels. They were just like, throw it away from your mind. It's not relevant here. This is all basically, like, ease of use, like, where their strengths are sort of withheld in terms of, like, you use, like ease of use, just, you know, you jumping into the character. Maneuverability, defense, offense, you know, range and shit like that.
Now I need to find... Is Dragon Ball all one word? Yeah, it is. I need to see if I can find the one for regular Goku. Because I'm interested to see if these are, like, I saw Max's video on it, and he, you know, raised an interesting point. He's like, well, are these going to be new characters? Are they going to be palette swaps? What's going on here? And if I can find, like, this little graph equivalent for them, maybe it won't be the same, I'm not sure. And we're still waiting on gameplay for Piccolo and for Krillin. who can be seen right here, the Goon Squad. The whole goddamn fucking magazines, boy. I need to start getting me some of these fucking Jap mags, dog. This shit's where it's at. Because they got the real information. There was, like, the closest I came to buying a magazine recently was circa fucking, like, this is bad layouts on Twitch. Hell fucking yeah, buddy. So...
someone submit. Someone submit.
So someone submit this for bad stream layouts right now. But yeah, so these are the most recent pages that we got, and fucking hell yeah, dude, I'm happy about this. This is good info. I like info like this. Just like because we got the waifu, she's in on it. Supposedly 17's going to be there as like a tag assist partner. The only thing I want to know is that since we have Super Saiyan God Super Saiyan, this is like occurring in the Super timeline. And in the Super timeline, supposedly Android 17's not a shit. Or at least he's like at least a good guy now? I don't know.
Yeah, I heard something regarding him, like, when he's resurrected, he winds up, like, him and his wife and a kid, like, or he has a kid with his wife or some shit. Like, they go to an island and then they take care of animals, or, I don't know, something like that. But so like, apparently he's not a cunt, so that's cool.
Like, my main thing is, like, are we going to be seeing an Android 18 from the Cell Saga, or from the Super timeline? I don't know.
She still retains a lot of her power from, post becoming human, right?
I'm trying to figure out if she's trying to become a MILF, though. That's my thing. Are we playing as MILF 18, or are we playing as fucking...
Sexbot 18.
Sexbot 18. Fuckbot 9000. Either way, you're gonna fuck with, yeah. Either way, it's getting the long dick treatment.
Mm-hmm.
It just depends. But yeah. It'd be cool. It'd be nice. It's a good change. I don't really give a shit about Super Saiyan God, Super Saiyan form characters. I think the color is cool. But, like, I'm not playing a character because of the color of their hair.
What are you talking about?
Well, like, fuck, wait,
pause.
Pause. Why the fuck, like, if you were to give the characters blue hair, why wouldn't you just make that a straight-up palette swap? They have to be different characters, don't they?
I would assume that
they have to be.
With the way they're announcing them like this, I'm assuming that they're full on different characters.
Hopefully, yeah. But like, okay, Asa would have to be here because he actually watches fucking Dragon Ball Super. Tell me if Goku actually learns anything new when he becomes Super Saiyan God, Super Saiyan, or if he's still punching Laser Man, coming around hot with the Kamehameha waves. But he wouldn't even do Kaioken Kamehameha waves as Super Saiyan God, Super Saiyan. I don't know. I don't care.
He does.
He does?
From what I know, he does. He combines Kaioken now with God form.
Fuck.
So he does. Like that was one of the things actually that's in the page that was when I read the translation, was that apparently one of his supers is like one of his supers is what the fuck was some anime shit? It's like Kaioken times 10 God Kamehameha or some shit. So someone translated everything in the entire page.
Fuck. That's so stupid. That's really good though. That's exactly how it should be. Alright. So there's that. Alright, so yeah.
Also, I'm gonna have to give you all something, because someone, really quick, because y'all can save this video into the cast, but I got a link to this in the Goon Squad Discord from a friend of mine who found this. He said he found this on V.
Uh-huh. What is this on? Oh, yeah.
Have you seen this?
I think John made this.
Oh, did he?
I think John.
Oh, I hope so.
Oh, God. These are terrible. This list is god-awful. My Dax is... Okay. Absolutely 110%. Someone I know had to make this. Why am I on this one?
Yeah,
somebody made this. Somebody who we know made this. That's the problem. Brilliant, big brain trailblazers. True. The further away I am from John and Joseph Anderson, the better my content is. Jesus Christ. Get me a far field away from his fucking tier level. Holy shit.
Oh, they put fucking Dax and Chadunda in the mediocre to bad. Nah, fuck off. Fuck off with that. And Chase, fuck off. Oh, Clumps is in there too? Yeah, fuck off.
Racevic.
This is a good meme. I really like this meme. I like how the "Are you even trying" is just the bottom of that tier list is just the dude who made that fucking that Phil Fish video. For those of you who can't see what we're talking about, I'm gonna go ahead and drop this. Oh, this is the young YouTuber tier list, boys. I need to put this on stream. This is solid. Somehow I'm on this.
Ultimate objective, indisputable tier list of YouTube video game
This absolutely John made this. You know for a fact John made this. Oh my god. Oh Jesus Christ. That's good. That's good shit.
Brilliant.
Brilliant big brain trailblazers, comma, true geniuses. Great. The fact that Joseph Anderson is in great can tell you that this list is bullshit. Yeah. Game Maker's Toolkit and the shirt on the same level as Super Bunny Hop. I disagree. Who's that fucking guy next to Super Bunny? Is that fucking from Arcadia?
Hold on, where's Super Bunny Hop on the list?
She's on Sure Why Not.
Oh, no. Okay, yeah, the guy next to him, that's Sunder. There's Game Maker Toolkit, Super Bunny Hop, then Sunder.
Okay.
I don't know who that's next to Sunder, though.
Nobody does. That's why it's funny. H Bomber guy is on the same tier list as me. Fuck off. He's on the same tier list as fucking... Who is that? Fucking... Okay, talk to me about the last time that Aaron Hansen made a fucking YouTube video that wasn't Game Grumps, dog. On the same tier list as the Gaming Brit. Does Gaming Brit even make game analysis videos? I mean, I guess it's on /criticism.
Oh, speaking of that.
Huh.
Fucking John's video that he released today. I was talking about this earlier with Dax. It's really fucking good.
I'm not seeing it. I need to see it.
It's pretty good, yeah. It's about basically cover shooters just sort of like killing creativity.
Mm-hmm. Oh yeah, Donkey's on this tier list. Fucking Jesus Christ, this one's all over the map. This one's all over the map. Holy word moly. Alright. Anyway. That's such a good fucking shit tier list. Oh god. Alright. Fucking what were we on about? Oh right. The Dragon Ball shit. It's just new characters. The beta's coming out soon, that's the main thing. And it's gonna have is the beta gonna have future Trunks?
I hope.
Because I fucking hope. It's gonna have 9 characters, from what I heard. It's gonna have fuck, what's it called? It's going to have definitely the 6 characters from the E3 build, which is Goku, Vegeta, Gohan, Boo, Big Boo, Cell, and Frieza. And it's supposed to have 3 others. I think Trunks, Piccolo, and Krillin. Don't quote me on that. I think that's who we have.
Oh, they said there was going to be 10 characters for the beta.
10?
10.
If I recall, right? I think they said the beta was going to have like 10 available characters.
I thought it was.
And I think that didn't that list end with like Piccolo, maybe, or maybe not. I can't recall.
I don't know. I think we only have 9 confirmed characters around the time that the beta was coming out.
Yeah, I might have my information mixed up on that. I just remember they said that there was going to be like a limited number.
Yeah.
And we're now above that limited number. So I don't think Future Trunks is going to be in that roster. Maybe he will be. I hope. Oh, yeah, I agree.
Otherwise, I'm not playing it. I gotta have at least one character I actually like to play.
Well, I mean, Trunks is going to be in the final game.
Yeah, but
we know that for a fact.
For the beta, though. What if I want to make YouTube videos to get my spot higher on the tier list? It's gonna be good. It's gonna be solid. You guys saw those crazy combos from Comic-Con, right?
No, I didn't.
So, like, there's like a 127 hit Goku combo, where there's apparently a lot of wall bounce into air grab shit in this game, where there's like a Goku chain where the route has no less than like, it's a wall bounce, like the enemy is wall bounced up, Goku falls down, and then grabs the enemy as he's falling away from the wall. I need to see if I can find it. It looks cool as shit. This game is going to be great, hopefully. I would be sad if not. I might be really sad, actually, if not. But, you know. Gay.
Yeah.
Comic-Con. While I'm looking at that, Whomst looking for the new... wait, the fuck? Do they have... Oh, it's just a fucking dude talking in front of a camera. Fuck you. Fuck you, YouTube. Such a bitch. Alright, anyway, let's fucking... Oh yeah, better remaster Roshi, I agree. Let's move on to the next topic, which I think is just gonna probably wind up being all me. So, there was a game that was covered on here a little bit ago called Battletech. If any of my boys played Mech Warrior, which you all should have, because it's really fucking good, then you would know that Mech Warrior is based on something called the Battletech universe. The Battletech universe is actually a series of board game RPGs, sort of similar to like the style of D&D and shit like that, except not really. I've not played the Battletech board games yet, or read any of the novels. I've only had experience with games like fucking Mech Warrior and Mech Assault. And this actually has me really excited because it's just a video game version of the board game, and it was supposed it's done through Kickstarter. I don't remember if I backed it. I don't think I did, but it was supposed to come out at some point this year, and it's then been delayed to early 2018. As far as reasons why, they didn't really give any. It just sort of comes down presumably to there might be some setbacks, but this footage on screen right now is from the beta.
Okay, so I got a question. Since I'm not seeing gameplay so far, I'm seeing just like menu fidgeting. Is the gameplay, because you said it's based on the board game, is the gameplay like tactical turn based?
Yes.
Oh, that's fucking cool.
Hell yeah, it is. That's what's cool about this. So the there's gameplay. I jumped to some like he's just sort of looking at it, but basically how it is like there's line of sight shit. It's sort of grid based. It looks really fucking neat. But they are updating the game. Harebrained Studios, the developers, are updating the beta basically with some balance changes. Some interesting balance stuff. I've not played the game, so I don't know how it actually affects anything, but it just sort of makes you wonder if either they're not super happy with the way that the some of the matches are turning out, and that's why it's been delayed, or if it's like they're still just trying to get general QA or content out. I'm not sure, but in either case, you know, fuck it. When games like this get delayed, I think it's pretty okay. Besides, I don't want to say that this type of game is necessarily easier to make than any other, but from what we're seeing right now, I think they're definitely on the right track. The game looks good. It looks great, actually. So
now, who do I have to scream at to bring Mech Assault to PC?
I think that's Microsoft. Which you think they already would have done, but since they're not, they're not going to do it.
I mean, so far they've only said that they're going to be bringing more Xbox original games to the Xbox One X, and then Xbox One, and then they said also on PC. So that better be on the fucking list.
Maybe one day. I don't know. I can't wait for fucking me to play Mech Assault again and be like, wow, this game is kind of shit. Because that was sort of the experience I had with War of the Monsters when I got it on the PlayStation Network. That game does not control as well as I remember it controlling.
Oh no, because it has a very specific control scheme to make you feel like a monster. Yeah. I can't remember if, like, I remember back in the day I loved it.
I remember back in the day I was the fucking shit at that game.
Yeah, I don't know. I'll still have to play it again. I might change my mind on it. I'm not sure. But yeah, so far I'm like looking at this gameplay and it looks great.
It looks really good, dude.
I love it. This is the kind of turn-based strategy that I really fucking enjoy. Like shit like this.
It's taken a long time for them to actually get to this point. For them to just turn what the turn-based game was into just a game on its own, you know.
Well, I'm assuming that they're making every decision very carefully.
I hope so. I'm very excited for this. Yeah. I want to play it with people. So, that's Battletech. It's delayed. That's a good thing. My text! I would like for you to talk to me about Sonic Mania for a little bit.
Okay. Share your autism.
What this is going to be is a live selling point. I need real big dick raw dog shit. I need you to sell me a copy of this game here today.
First of all, Nignog, it's like $20.
Okay, okay, that's okay.
And the file size is like 200 megs.
Really?
You could have it in the next minute and a half if you fucking click the button.
Wow, that's convenience. Okay, so what else do we got?
Well,
right.
Fuck.
Mm-hmm.
Sorry, I just sneezed really bad. Mm-hmm. So, I'm absolutely in fucking love with this game.
Right.
What I really enjoy, one of the main things I've been telling people about, as far as because I think a lot of the big questions that I've had directed at me by friends and such is in regards to level design, because I know something that I've been excited about was based on Christian Whitehead's experience with his work on remaking some of the other classic games. For those in the chat who don't know, the main guy, Christian Whitehead, who's been leading the project, he a few years back, well, he's been doing shit under the name Taxman for a long time. Kind of switched off that alias in the last half a decade or so. But I remember actually playing some of his demos and everything about 15 years ago. I didn't actually know it was him until a couple years recently when someone was like, "Oh yeah, that was him, Taxman."
Right.
And his whole thing was trying to basically recreate the original engine in the game and everything that Sonic the Hedgehog 1, 2, and 3 ran on, and recreating it to a T, but also optimizing it to where it didn't, lag like shit, like Sonic 1 and 2 did. So, and 3 to a degree, and just optimizing everything, but retaining everything. Because up till that point, you would play a lot of these Sonic fan games, and they would try to do something really different, like doing sort of 3D Doom mod, like Sonic Robo Blast 2, or they would just not really get it anywhere near close, or anywhere close, or worse yet, they would make them in like Flash or something. And and so and he really went out of his way to recreate these engines entirely. And so years and years later, he like Harry's showing the debug. Years later, he basically whipped up a recreation of Sonic CD and was just like, "Hey, Sega, I remade CD. It runs really great. I put it on a phone." They were like, "Oh, well, that's cool. Can you come work for us?" And he was like, "Yeah, sure." So he started making, the ports of like Sonic 1 and 2, which you played, which are really fantastic. He optimized them for widescreen support, recreated a lot of stuff, and rebuilt the game from the ground up. And even like Sonic 1 had that unfinished, I forget what I think it was Hidden Palace, one of the unfinished levels on it. He entirely added that in, like finished the level and did it. And just a lot, like all this effort and just optimizing and recreating these games really well. And so they finally put him in charge of this project, and they were like, "Hey, a lot of people want a classic Sonic game. We think you're the best fit. Get whoever the fuck you want to work on it with you." He hired people like Dakota West and all these other people to come in and work on the game and get it out. And the production started, and I think the game started being made, coded and everything in like March of last year. Right. So it hasn't even been that, and it was delayed a bit, but it still hasn't been that long of a dev cycle. And what's really cool is that all that experience, especially the experience working on CD, because I think that was really his biggest project, both like the big 2011 sort of port for PSN and Xbox Live, definitely comes through in this game. But what's nice about it is that in terms of level design, that's what I'm going to get back to. In terms of level design, it's this perfect blend of what I really loved about Sonic 3 and Sonic CD, and it takes out a lot of the feeling behind lanes that happens a lot in 2 and 3 and 3 Knuckles, and it also takes a lot of the confusion and sort of nonsensical design that can happen in a lot of levels in CD.
Okay.
So what I mean by that is that when you play something like Sonic 2 or 3, have you ever felt like playing the classic games? You can even get this feeling in stuff like Generations as well. When you end up at the bottom level, you almost feel like you're kind of at not at a disadvantage, like you're playing a fucking fighting game, but it's like you're not in the funner part of the stage that you want to be at. You're kind of knowingly like, oh, like you there's a point where there's a gap coming up, and if you don't know the level, you miss the gap, and then it's like, now I'm stuck at the bottom thing. I wish I jumped in that gap. Now I have to go through this slow water section, and I have to go through this section with more enemies and gaps. I can't really be as speedy as I'd like to, and the flow isn't quite as good. Some of those older games, not all the stages, but a lot of the zones had that problem, which I don't even think is a huge thing, because for me it motivated me to go back and find those other things. But when I would go back and play the game, I wasn't really exploring as much. I was just trying to stick to the fastest path as possible, which, you know, in itself works for this kind of game, but you were kind of limited to that option. So people who didn't like that would not really enjoy the level design quite as much. CD made this thing where you look at a CD stage, and instead of it looking like, if you look at the entire map, right, instead of it looking like a really, really, really long stretch with like a few lanes in between, it's like this giant square that you can just kind of navigate freely. But it's so fucking odd, especially when you start factoring in like destroying the machines and traveling between past and future, and trying to organize all that in your head, where it made it really, really confusing, especially when this is like the first game out. Like, this comes out right around the time Sonic 2 did, because Yuji Naka went off and left, and basically, like, the original people who made Sonic 1 made CD, and then other people made 2, and then all that happened. So it comes across still for a lot of people today as a clusterfuck, until you spend a lot of time with it. So what Christian and his team did was that they really, again, like, they made this perfect meld to where you can understand where you're at in a stage and what particular, I guess you could say, lane that you're on. But number one, the design for each area doesn't feel like you're kind of bogged down with a bunch of bullshit you don't really want to deal with. If you're at like a lower section of the level, it feels, because there's lots of little things that you can find, and it feels there's much more incentive in the levels design, both in the art style and the way things are kind of drawing your eye, as well as just all these little pieces of things that you want to just try the platform on. That makes you feel okay with it. It's like, okay, cool, this is in the area, I want to explore this, because you don't know what you might find, secret rings and whatnot. But it also makes it to where it doesn't feel like it takes you an hour and a half to finally get back to another path or where you want to be. There's all these different little tricks and things that you can find to get yourself back up. It's always kind of crisscrossing, and these levels are huge, because what they do is that in about 2/3 of the acts in the game, or the zones in the game, I want to say, well, actually, there's 12 zones. I want to say like 7 of them are from previous games, anything from Sonic 2, 3, and CD. But what they do is that Act 1, sort of, depending on the zone, Act 1 kind of replicates a lot of the first act, or possibly the first and second act of the original zone. So you play, especially Green Hill Zone Act 1 and Chemical Plant Zone Act 1 are very, very, very similar to the originals. But then Act 2 just does all sorts of crazy shit. So they add all these different unique mechanics that are particular to that zone without them feeling like they're out of place. They make them really fun and intertwine with the level. But then they expand on it like CD would. So you have this really, really large, intricate design that gets you excited about going back and going through it, because every lane that you're on, every time they crisscross and whatever, you get a better idea of how to, figuring out where you are within the level, instead of having to play it 100 times to really memorize exactly when you need to jump when you're speeding past this area, so that way you don't end up in the bottom lane versus the top. And even if that does happen, it's just fun, because there's just all these different things that are unique to the different lanes, and different areas of a stage that are just fun to navigate. And then on top of that, you have the new stages, you have the new zones, Studiopolis, and among others, and they're all just fucking fantastic. And it's just been a fucking blast to play. And I've been telling people, this is, for the longest time, my favorite of the classic games. There aren't too many of them. My favorite classic was 3 and Knuckles, and also don't separate 3 and Knuckles. They're half of a game. Each one is half of a game. Each one is half the zones that a typical Sonic game had previously, and then you combine them, and then it's a full game. So there's really only Sonic 1, 2, 3 Knuckles is just, it's 3 games, not 4. So it's me being autistic. But
well, I mean, this is
for the longest time. Yeah, but for the longest time, it was, that was my favorite. But now, I mean, this game I feel is by far my favorite of those games by far. And not only that, but you have the perfect 60 FPS optimization. You don't have to worry about the slowdown the previous games had. The sprite work is absolutely fucking phenomenal.
Yeah, it looks great.
Whereas what it does so well is that it maintains the original style so well, but then just builds on it. And you even see this really good example is in you see stuff like Green Hill, where Green Hill Zone 1 doesn't really do a whole lot different. They kind of keep the old school style, where you have your front lane that you're in, that Sonic is in, and then you have the background shot with with everything below, like the water and kind of heading up to the mountains and the brown, and then you have the mountains, and so everything kind of scrolls to give it that 3D effect. And they keep that, but then once you get into Act 2, you get into a really lower level, and there's all these like totems and all this other shit and grass and detail that they start building on, and really emphasizing, you know, that their appreciation for having all this new hardware that they can build on, but still keeping it consistent where it feels like it's not trying to go too crazy with it, I guess, if that makes sense. And it's just really restrained and well thought out and consistent. And it's just, it's absolutely fucking gorgeous. And of course the soundtrack is phenomenal as well.
Yeah, I'm waiting on I think everybody's waiting on the soundtrack to be released officially. There's a vinyl out, and I kind of want to get the vinyl. I want to
special vinyl,
I want to start collecting that shit. I don't have a fucking vinyl player.
Yeah, I actually do.
Shit.
So it's pretty cool. But
because like they have the Persona one now and shit like that.
But
so yeah, what else?
Yeah.
What else?
Yeah, I mean, it's as far as extra content goes. I mean, I've been still playing it just because I like to do. You know, I did like my Sonic playthrough. I did my Tails and Knuckles playthrough. You can collect all the emeralds and everything accordingly. And they're also something cool that they kind of did was that when you know, kind of like some of the previous games, when you hit a goalpost and you have more than 25 rings, the little sparkles come up, and then if you jump through that ring, you get a bonus stage. Not like the special, like the really cool kind of 3D Sega Saturn style running stage where you're chasing after the emerald, which are also really dope. And come back to that in a second. But they have the Get Blue Spears back.
Yeah,
and they made them. They got really creative with a lot of them. Some of them are way more challenging than before, especially if you want to get the gold. The gold medals versus the silver medals. The gold medals is when you get all the rings and then the orbs. So you have to really kind of practice a bunch of these and figure out, because they're sometimes you'll get baited to where you accidentally get you set it up incorrectly to where you accidentally clear a certain amount of blue orbs to where you can't get enough rings before you get all the orbs, so you're only going to get silver and all this other stuff. They have these really interesting layouts that are super hard. It's very challenging thing, but you just I can't help but keep grinding it out. And what's cool is that if you fuck it up, you know, you can always just go to a different goalpost and retain your rings and do it, but you don't know which one you're going to get. And so I know I actually don't know what happens if you get all the gold. I know the silver, I think I unlocked debug mode and a couple other things, but I don't know what happens when you get all gold medals. So I have like, I think 9 more left or something like that.
Ooh.
So that's pretty fun. And some, I mean, Get Blue Spheres is kind of a take it or leave it thing. Some people are not going to give a fuck. Some people like me are going to keep, you know, grinding it out.
Yeah.
The emerald stages, I don't know if there is an unlockable mode where you can just play this as its own thing. It's super fun. And what's nice is that they have this, it's very much inspired by Sonic CD. So you have the whole, you know, the classic kind of running through this whole 3D stage, except it doesn't run at like 4 FPS. And it looks, you know, looks great. The music's really tight. And it has this just really cool feel to it, which is you kind of have to practice it to get a good idea of how it controls, but it's really satisfying once you do. It doesn't feel like a pain.
Right.
Like it's too separate from the rest of the game to be like, no, I don't get a chance to do this often enough. Now it's annoying. It's like, no, you really retain it. And it's just, it's a lot of fun. So I would say there's only been maybe 3 small segments throughout the game that's kind of annoyed me. I know that at the beginning of Mirage Saloon, there's a, and it's the only section in the game that does it, but there is a section where you're stuck on Tails' plane and you're kind of flying through. Doesn't last super long, but I've just never really liked them. Don't like it here. And then oil plant, I forget, or the oil zone from Sonic 2.
Right.
Probably fucking wrong. I forget. I mix them all up. But I never.
No, you're not wrong. It is Sonic 2.
Yeah, thank you, Isa. I never really liked that stage, and it's better here, but I still don't like it. I think a lot of it is the general color palette and just some of the design elements. I never cared for it. Other than that, this game's fucking phenomenal. It's $20 goddamn. It's on the PS4, Xbox One, and Switch. It's coming to PC August 29th. Collector's edition. I have that as well. It's fucking tight. And I actually have an extra thing. I'm just gonna shill this real quick. I'll probably be streaming late tonight, and I'm gonna figure out some way, because I have an extra Sonic Mania PS4 code. So I'm gonna figure out some sort of game that people can play and I'll be fucking primo autismo about it, so someone can win a PS4 code for Sonic Mania. If you don't want to spend the $24 dues because you're poor as shit, then hey, you win a fucking code.
This is exclusively for the people that are too poor to afford a $20 game, but not poor enough to afford a console.
Right.
Boom. Gotcha. That's the selling point. If you're sitting there thinking, "Wow, I couldn't afford that," boy, howdy, do I have the stream for you.
And one of the things, it's I don't know, I've been thinking about this, and it's really funny because I love that Sonic in general is getting a lot of just praise and everything from a lot of people, but it's also I've seen so much more, and then I have in a while. I've seen a lot more of the. It's like, man, it's nice to see Sonic finally be good after 20 years. It's like, come on, nigga.
Well, I mean, I can kind of, me, I sort of fall in that slot. Like,
no, I understand, but it's more of well, I see this, I see a gap between people who are like, it's like, oh, finally, I've been wanting. I don't really care for the other games, but I've been wanting a classic one. Finally, I have that. It's like I understand that.
Yeah.
But when it's like, yeah, there's never like since Sonic and Knuckles, there hasn't been like a good game.
Right.
It's really
yeah,
funny.
like Generations is something that I can understand why people appreciate and love, but I just like, I can't get the same vibes from it. But yeah, I agree. Like Sonic has definitely had like, it's been hit or miss. It hasn't been full miss.
Right. But it's really funny because I can never tell, because I know plenty of people are memeing, and that's fine. I'm not about to go fucking like, I don't give a shit.
I've always been like I've always liked the classic Sonic game. Like I've had like a lot of the newer ones, but it's hard to get into them. Like the classic Sonic games, like for me, they were just like super easy, just to pick it up and play. So that's why I like the 2D kind of stuff. So I've always
this shit right here is like a giant fucking boner for gorgeous sprite art, so that's like half the reason why I am going to buy it.
But that's been an interesting thing, because I've had a few people ask me and be like, I've never really been in the Sonic, I never played any of the classics, do you think this is a good game to play? And I'm like, honestly, if you just want a great, well polished, fun 2D platformer for fucking $20, when I would be more than happy paying like 40 minimum for this fucking game. Support it, then please do. It's a great, it's a great game, and if that gets you into other fucking Sonic games, classic or not, I don't really give a shit. But it's just, it's a great 2D platformer, bottom line, more so than it is forget the whole Sonic game thing for a second. It's just a great fucking well polished game.
All right, so there you go. That's Sonic Mania. Go buy that shit, or you can go. Yeah. You can go shill in Dax's stream later for a free copy if you're too poor.
Oh, I'll be there.
If you're a bum. What up, Asa?
I'll be there to support the winner.
With a gun.
I won't be entering.
I won't be entering. How you doing, B?
I'm alright.
Good.
I'm off work. I finally just got home. I got heated me up some pizza.
Ooh, what kind of pizza?
Doing alright.
Totino's?
Totino's? Red Baron.
We get the Grendel special that we get in our house. It's a Domino's pizza with like bacon, steak, banana peppers, Alfredo sauce, and onions. Delicious.
Sounds good.
Wow.
But yeah,
I respect it.
We're hanging out here in the streets. So what I miss?
So
the cast.
We've gone through the recent re-released MVCI trailer, where they unfucked some of the models. We saw some shit.
I might be able to ask Chun-Li out on a date.
Yeah. I might be able to see Deep Silver take publishing rights for Shenmue 3 and release PS2 renders for it. I might be able to see them show off Super Saiyan God, Super Saiyan, Goku and Super Saiyan God, Super Saiyan Vegeta for Dragon Ball Waifu Z.
I am excited for Android 18 because that's who I wanted to play in this game.
Ooh, but I see the team comp right now.
That and Videl. That's what I wanted to play. I wanted to play
Future. I see Future Trunks, Android 18, maybe a little bit of Kuririn. I like the comps, dude. The characters, they were like, the character reveals have been obvious so far, but I like all of them. So I'm good.
No, yeah.
We're good.
I don't know. Like, Kid Gohan's always a favorite for me, so that's already in the game. I'm like,
did you see anything about them jumping timelines and giving us Mystic Gohan?
Yeah, we're probably gonna get that as well. Because with Super Saiyan Blue, Vegeta and Goku both getting their own character because they're not transformations, they're straight up character.
Right.
So we are more than definitely probably going to see that, like Mystic Gohan and all that shit.
I have another question. Do you know if they said anything about whether or not this version of Android 18 is from the Cell Saga, or if it's from?
This is from. You can tell through her outfit. It's from Cell Saga. It's like right when we meet her, and she breaks Vegeta's arm.
Okay.
that is tight.
Great. God.
Oh my! That is one of the best scenes in DBZ, and they're gonna give me that outfit. Hell yeah!
I really don't like Cell Saga, but I fucking love the moments from Cell Saga. It has some the best tightest shit.
That's one of the best moments for me. Give me that. Oh hell yeah! And 17 is just a fucking assist. Get owned, all you 17 idiots.
Fuck Android 17. 16 hopefully is going to be really cool.
16 is going to be cool, I think. Well, I don't know. It all depends.
This was another question. So, okay, Super Saiyan God, Super Saiyan Goku, and Vegeta. Do those characters learn any new moves? Like, do they use new shit, or is it just the same shit?
Yes. And if you've been watching Super, you know that they've learned a few things. The Kaioken for Goku is definitely, like, with mixture with the Super Saiyan, is like a huge power boost that you get in, that he got in Super. And you're definitely getting this in that game because they showed it off in the picture.
Okay. I follow.
They do new things, a lot of new like random new moves and shit like that. Yeah.
All right. So after that,
Chun-Li, like I said, I'd ask Chun-Li out on a date. Maybe. Battle. See, the Chun-Li from Street Fighter V. Oh, she can get this number, B. I want to find out what that mouth do.
I agree. Many of the women in Street Fighter V look fantastic.
I think MVCI's. I mean, they did a nice shot of the glutes for Morrigan in that trailer, but
yeah,
that's like to be like they can make the ass look fine. They can do like fucking leggings well. They just can't do the face model well.
The thing that pisses me off is that this is all going to be implemented into a day one patch. Fuck off, dude.
Well, I don't know if that is, because they're showing this... Well, I mean, okay, I say that, but they have, like, characters that are ready to be played on day one that aren't going to be in the fucking game unless you have the special edition.
Is this the stage you're talking about, Dax, if you're watching Vash's stream? Because this stage is fucking cancer.
What, Chemical Plant?
Yeah, I don't like
No, Chemical Plant's fine. It's the fucking oil one that comes up later on.
Oh, no, yeah, I know what you're talking about. They're both shit.
No, Chemical Plant's fine.
I've always hated Chemical Plant.
You're fucking bad.
I was also a 3-year-old when I played this game actively.
No, Johns. No, Johns.
Well,
thanks, Mom. Shout out to my mom for getting me through that level.
So, yeah, there was that. Talk a little bit about BattleTech, turn-based strategy game.
To be 100% honest, I have no fucking clue.
Oh, dude, it's sick. I can't wait to fucking get that shit out. That got delayed a little bit, hopefully for qualitative purposes. And then had Dax try to do a live selling point for Sonic Mania, and you're caught up, buddy. You did it.
All right, cool.
Yeehaw. All right.
I'm just glad we didn't miss viewer questions. Hell yeah.
Hell no. So, I guess... Do you guys want to do the Kojima topic real quick?
I've not actually heard anything about it, so I'd like to hear about it.
So, okay, this is the special edition version of the cast list. So before we hit viewer questions, there's one little thing. In an interview recently, one Hideo Kojima, my boy, Shiggy Niggy, comes in hot, thanking Konami for apparently... Let me pull up some choice quotations from this, because this is quite prevalent, quite relevant.
Thanks for the child support.
Always. Thank you for the child support. He says, "What I'm grateful for is that when I proposed something that I wanted to make, they let me make it." This is what Kojima said about Konami. Conversely, I wasn't bound by them saying, you need to do it like this. Then he says some kansha shiteru, which refers to being appreciative, being grateful, or being sugoi. And you know, it was basically an interview that eventually turned heel onto talking about what his days at Konami were like. To wit, he, you know, responded that he was just happy that they were surprisingly open, at least at the time when he was working there, of most of the ideas that he had. Whether or not that continued on into, like, things like PT or anything like that, or Silent Hills, I don't know. Evidently not, but at least at one point, especially in his early career, they were definitely a hell of a lot more supportive of him than they were at the end of his time there. So, yeah, that's basically it. Konami weren't always a bunch of faggots, as evidenced by their old PS2 catalog.
But it was around that area when they started fagging it up.
Oh, certainly. Well, when
that was like the beginning of the end.
Yeah, when was fuck, when was Zoe 3 stonewalled? Or not stonewalled. When were sales for that brought up as a reason why they weren't going to get it?
Oh man, I can't remember.
That was definitely 7th gen though, because that was circa the MG, or not MG, that was the Zone of the Enders HD collection shit.
Which came with the MGR demo, yeah.
Yep. So, it's just interesting to see, that's all. Just good shit. It's nice to see that he had at least some good memories there. And it wasn't always, he's not super bitter about it, even though he's working on...
It's curious though, because it's clearly after a point in which he's speaking about this where he gained clout, because I remember from an older interview in which he spoke about how before he even made Metal Gear, people at the company would just sort of walk by his desk and just be like, when the fuck are you going to make something? Like, people were just treating him like shit at Konami before he became someone that was able to, like, sort of prove his talent. Now, I'm not going to state if that's just sort of like an exclusively like a Konami thing or a Japanese culture kind of thing, especially for back in the 80s. You know, that might have been an entirely acceptable form of just treating one another back then in the work. But yeah, there's definitely a transformation of attitude towards him post that point. Also, he's probably, like, at this point, it's better for him to not play petty.
Right.
And to just sort of, like, just be the more graceful one in the general public eye, because if he were to start bringing up things from the past that he had brought up in the past, for instance, I don't want to make any more Metal Gears, but I keep on having to thanks to death threats, which is what happened after he released the trailer for fucking Metal Gear Solid 3. I remember his E3 interview was this is because of death threats.
Yeah.
Shit like that. Like, it's better for him to not sort of dwell on that. But it's shit that I'm never gonna fucking forget. I'll say that for certain.
Right. What?
Oh, to emphasize though, the death threats were from fans. That wasn't Konami giving.
just people poking their head in. I'll fucking kill you if you don't make something.
Yeah, corporate emails like, we have your family at gunpoint.
Hey, Gojima. Hey, Kojima. Hey, make the fucking game, buddy.
Ohayo gozaimashita. Neku yourself.
Make the fucking game, buddy.
Peace Walker was made for his son. Alright.
Yeah, I'll never forget that fucking fantastic thing. I want a game that he'll play. So you make trash. Interesting, your son's got bad taste.
I've not played Peace Walker. I have no dog in this fight.
I played Peace Walker and I fucking hate it.
Well, you hate good things, Pokey.
Truth. Game's kind of shit.
I know, Sonic Mania is terrible.
It really is.
So anyway, it's time for a special segment on the podcast. This is viewer questions. So, if you're not following me on Twitter at VashTSB, you should definitely be doing that, because now on the Thursday, I think, before we do the cast, I'm gonna go ahead and drop a tweet asking for some questions, and my favorite questions, are the ones I think that are most palatable for all of us, are gonna get dropped into the list, and we're gonna ask and answer them. Now, some of them I got this morning. I'll go do a quick skim through those, but let's just sort of put Unil. Actually, no, let's put the new Devil May Cry community combo mad on stream real quick, because you know, fun stuff. Show some love to the boys, the goons. And let's start off with a couple of viewer questions. So, The first one is from @ZeroVanitas on Twitter, who asks, with Platinum's future of self-publishing their own titles, do you fear that we will see RPGs instead of beat-em-ups?
So are we going one at a time, or what are we doing here?
Oh, whoever wants to speak up first, basically. Shit.
I mean, I got some thoughts on this. So
go for it.
So I understand where this question's coming from, because you and I sort of share a similar sentiment from things that we've spoken about over the past 3 years regarding how 3D beat-em-ups are they're sparse. You know, they are nowhere near the popularity that they used to thrive in, and even back when they were thriving, they weren't always grade A.
Right.
And then we have Platinum just sort of walks in, and they keep on continually giving us heavily action-oriented games. Sometimes of questionable quality, sometimes of excellent quality, but no matter what, they were always trying, sometimes even frequently doing different things until, you know, they came to a certain point where they started to regurgitate the same formula, but even then, still very fun games regardless. The thing is, though, is that I will say this, I personally have no fear of them branching out and experimenting, because they know how to do action so right, so frequently, that if they were to continue to go down the route of making more RPGs, or even if they made they can make a Platinum kart racer, and it would still wind up being some of the most hype shit out there. I genuinely think that them branching out and experimenting is only really for the best, because I especially don't want these specific directors, or the people, just the crew in general at Platinum, to sort of be stifled, and to have only one direction to go. That being said, I do hope that they will recognize where their specialty lies, and they do not forsake it, as other companies have. For instance, like, Capcom's specialties have lied within so many sprite-based action platformers and fighting games, and then they've forsaken action platformer. You know, Mega Man is not a thing anymore, and those legacy re-releases don't fucking count. And then when it comes to sprite-based fighters, not a thing. Now they have 3D-based fighters, which are, you know, you can ask anyone, you'll get a variety of opinions. Like, there's a lot of people out there.
I've legitimately never met anybody that actually says I love Street Fighter V, so...
there's that. But I mean, I would go even a step further with Street Fighter 4, where there's plenty of people that love Street Fighter 4. I am not among them. You know, and there are other people that are not among them. But, you know, Street Fighter 4 definitely has its crowd of people who fucking adore it. And I'm not going to tell them that they're wrong, but it's definitely... It feels like an abandonment for the shit that they built that I do appreciate. There are no more Street Fighter Alpha 3s, 3 Third Strikes, fucking Darkstalkers, you know, all these sprite-based fighters that I adore to death, that I'm not good at, but I still like playing, because I prefer that shit over, you know, 3D, like 2.5D fighters. That's not to say that I forsake all 3D fighters. You know, I think Rival Schools and Project Justice is great and shit like that, but that's because that was built on the foundation of being 2.5D to begin with. Tekken 7's a full-on 3D fighter that I fucking adore. Of course, in general, but that's okay. That's all a side rant. This is all tangent. Basically, me coming down to what's happened with Capcom is I understand a fear that people have for Platinum. I understand that. So bringing it back, I encourage them to keep on doing what it is they feel like doing. But at the same time, please don't forget your roots. That's the one thing that's what I fear, them forgetting their roots.
Anybody else want to hop in on this one?
No,
I'm good.
I think the big thing to keep in mind here is that, as far as self-publishing their own titles, we had an interest, because we didn't talk about this on the cast. We probably should have. Was the comment from Hideki Kamiya about Yoko Taro and Nier Automata basically saving Platinum. And what that could mean is really anybody's guess, because as far as I know, that shit was ran hardcore parkour through Google Translate, and it could mean multiple things. It could mean, like, in terms of a fiscal sense, which doesn't necessarily make a whole lot of sense when you recognize the fact that they are now able to self-publish their own game. That's got to take fucking money, people. You just don't fall into being able to make the game you want to, at your scale. But even then, it's like, if you want to talk about saving in terms of your own in terms of your like brand recognition or something like that, when I guess you look at some of the recent Platinum titles that have released since Bayo 2, we've had we've had Transformers Devastation, which is the best game ever made, but nobody liked it because they're all gay and they all can't play it. We also have Star Fox Zero, which I've not played, but I've heard good things about. Not really. Then we have TMNT, which is the worst game ever made, and has been fucking retroactively King Crimson. You can't find that shit anymore. It's gonna become really rare, and like that's not a good track record. That's not a good batting average. I don't really know what else to say. And then they just come out with Nier Automata. And not only is it, like... I mean, you can have your reservations on the combat system or the way that it works, but as a game, it's fucking great. Like, it's the shit. And that puts Platinum back on the map, and a lot of people, you know, a lot of normos out there, they don't really... They see, like, flashy movements or whatever, and they're like, oh, hell yeah, bud, this is Platinum combat, this is it. This is stylish action at its best. And that... It reasserts Platinum as this position in the spotlight again. Absolutely. So, to me, I guess I would just say that on that level, you know, as far as, you know, Platinum being saved physically by Taro's game, I'm a little suspicious just because I don't know how much money really went into Automata development-wise, but also I don't really know how much money... Like, how many units did that game wind up selling? Like 1.6 million? But I guess that's physical. That doesn't account for digital, does it?
I think, right.
But either way, they say that Automata did fucking gangbusters. They far exceeded expectations. But, you know, to say that he saved it, you know, it puts them back on the map. But as far as them self-publishing again, there are only really two ways that I think you could see them thinking that. And the first one is that they try to, like, recreate the Nier Automata magic, where they see themselves, and I guess you could say that they've been doing this for a while with their past few games, where they keep doing, like, the faux RPG shit in all of their combat systems, whether it works or if it really, really fucking doesn't. And, you know, there's just a shit ton of, like, possibility there, but even still, it's like, if you see action RPGs as the new version of the Platinum beat-em-up, where they're just gonna keep remaking very basic combat systems with, like, some air juggling, some light cancel options, and just a bunch of minuscule percentage modifiers for shit, I mean, that's a possibility, but, I mean, we still have a person like Hideki Kamiya at the company who... You know, even though Scalebound was technically an action RPG, his previous games weren't action RPGs per se. They didn't even have stats. They were all different, you know? And it's
he's been wanting to make action RPGs. He just hasn't really been allowed to most of the time. Things just never really worked out.
And it's reasonable to think that after if he were to have gotten Scalebound at the door, that might have, you know, satisfied him in that way. He may have wanted to go back to not making another action RPG. You never know. And it could be the same thing with anybody else. As far as Grand Blue Fantasy goes, to me, I'm gonna go out on a limb and just say that's a pure moneymaker. Like, the Grand Blue Fantasy project just has got to be a fucking... It's got to be a fucking brand deal. It's got to be a publishing deal. I honestly think that everything they've been doing up until this point, even like a super successful project like Transformers Devastation, in terms of the quality of the game, it has to have been leading up to this point where they can publish their own game. And as to what form that game is going to take, I don't know. I honestly just hope that it's not going to be another, like, strict up Platinum beat 'em up, I guess. Where if it is an action game, I hope it sort of diverges in the system more like Automata did, instead of just being, hey guys, we self-published Bayonetta 3. You know, fuck with me, Poppy.
Right.
But I don't know that that's what they're gonna do. You know, does it really worry me? Not really. I think Platinum at this point, they've been successful with most of their big budget titles at this point, where I think whatever game they make is going to be successful enough to keep their own lights on, hopefully at least. So, and you know, as far as I'm going to play it, I don't know. It sort of depends on the form that the RPG system takes. If they make a turn-based RPG, I'll fucking play it. I don't care. You know,
Yeah.
they just have that type of bar for quality at this point.
Going on further though about that Kamiya tweet, like watch me be completely wrong about this. Watch there just be a fucking article that releases tomorrow to completely fucking subdue everything I just say right now. But I honestly read it. We've spoken about this before. I've read it as a sentimental thing.
Yeah.
Because when you follow everything that happened, because, you know, we're giant faggots, we follow this shit way too closely. When you follow everything regarding Yoko Taro's relationship with Platinum Games and how Yoko Taro even wants to make a sister company to Platinum Games. Like, he spoke about that back in 2015.
Right.
I honestly feel that this is largely a sentimental thing in terms of, like, what he was able to bring to the table. Regards like not only regarding like morale and attitude, because I mean you've seen how much they fuck around with one another. Where there's Hideki Kamiya is wearing the Emil mask, and you know he takes it off, he reveals it's Kamiya and shit like that. Like just goofy, funny shit. On Twitter, they frequently spoke about how much they just enjoyed one another's company, drinking together, and just fucking about. And then on top of that, there is a blog on the Platinum website in which Yoko Taro explains how he had to explain his method of storytelling to Platinum. He had a full thing set up with, like, you know, routes and plot devices, this, that, and the other thing, how it all bleeds together. Yeah. I got into a conversation recently, a very brief one on Twitter, just regarding, like, I feel like that they can learn a lot from Nier in terms of just general plot development, like, just the way it works.
Yeah. Because
I always felt that Platinum, as a whole, and I'm sticking to this, as a whole, makes lovable characters. I've had people... someone was saying something along the lines of, like, that's only Kamiya. Because, you know, like, because we were speaking in reference to Wonderful 101, and I was like, oh, yeah, because, you know, I love the characters that Platinum brings. And someone's... then they're like, oh, well, that's only Kamiya. Only Kamiya games do that. But I disagree. Like, I have not... like, I think Mad World and Anarchy Reigns have pretty enjoyable characters. Yeah. I think their characterization of all the people and you know, all the Transformers and Transformers Devastation is charming.
Yeah.
It's not just Hideki Kamiya. Platinum itself sort of likes to try to just emphasize what makes these characters just enjoyable to be around. That being said, story-wise, plot, that is shit that has frequently had major room for improvement. And if they learn from what Yoko Taro has brought to the table here, then that's a really, really good combination. I feel like that's a part of the sentimental they saved us kind of thing. Like, we're learning. Yeah. And as a company, they do have to grow. You know, they make such great action games, but they still have, you know, room for improvement in other places, and I think that's plenty valid. Yeah. Of course, again, watch me just be completely fucking wrong.
Well, we'll see. Well, you know, I'm sure there's going to be there's going to be interviews in the future where shit's clarified. But as far as I'm concerned, I don't see it as like a financial thing either. I don't see how it could be. It's just it doesn't match up with the story.
Yeah, you know? I mean, like, to be honest, they never speak specifically about finances either. So we really don't even know if they've ever been in, like, pure shit status in terms of money. But yeah, I don't see that either. Could be wrong. I don't know.
Yeah, but keeping on the Platinum wagon. Big Boy at Big Banter, Dan on Twitter, the artist boy, coming in hot. Who do you think will be able to compete with Platinum? Whom's to want in on this one?
I mean, Capcom could compete if they just tried.
Well, fuck. To me, anybody could really compete with them.
Yeah.
Really, the formula for me is just having an action game that builds on itself well. You know, you could make an argument that Neo could be Team Ninja could be a decent competitor for them.
Oh yeah,
you know, it's just it's making a good action game isn't just being like super crazy. It can also just be being enjoyable and fun in its own way, which is what Platinum were always successful at. You know, as far as, you know, if you want to talk about who could make a game that could compete with me, fuck, a couple of indie games have gotten pretty close. You know, if you look at a game like Mitsurugi Kamui Hikaye, if you were to take that game and make it into an actual game instead of just like a Bloody Palace mode, polish it up quite a bit, that's close. It's a starting point.
I completely agree, because it just needs just a few adjustments to be something that I would really spend the time on. Like, first of all, no more Bloody Palace mode, just actually give it actual fucking levels.
Yeah.
And then, like, you just fine-tune the enemy animations, and, like, I'll be all in. I mean, it needs more than that, but I'm just saying, like, those are the like two basic things to really put it on a competitive level.
Absolutely. And then there's like fucking Aztez just came out, and that's a game that's, the thing is though is that it's a game that's designed with combat that's specifically sort of made to be depthful, especially if you look at the way the dagger is made and the spear that can dash through enemies. It's like,
yeah,
it's sort of, it builds on itself deliberately in a way that's sort of wink wink nudge nudge, where the point is sort of to be crazy combo-y. But if you look at a game like Bayonetta, it builds on itself in a similar way, where they always want it to be about enemy interaction and interplay in that through the system of like dodge offset, keeping the enemies engaged in the combat, and also trying to keep you in your own combos to play the game well. That's how it gauges the score system, basically. It's like self-aware in a way, and that's what like some games could do more of. So like, if you want us to straight up answer, Capcom could be if they want it to be. At this point, it just sort of comes down to what Itsuno's new game is.
That and also just like straight up listening to fans, because mentioned in the comments, Sega could also compete if they cared enough to do so. I think they are competing right now, I'll be completely honest. Like, not only do they have their hands in some Platinum games to begin with, but then on top of that, what they're already doing with the IPs they own, bringing shit back, like just listening to fans in general. Like, right now, if you ask me, Sega is probably the best at the moment. Don't get me wrong, I love Platinum, but I also love Sega so much because of how much they supported Platinum.
Yeah,
like bringing fucking Vanquish and Bayonetta to PC just made Sega a part of that, like, the best right now.
Yeah, they've helped them out a lot. And as far as their own games go, Yakuza, like, personally, I don't appreciate the Yakuza combat system much at all.
Right.
But they have the ability. It just comes down to whether or not they want to do it. You know, anybody can make any type of game, and there's more than enough reference material out there. People could go look into fucking, like, any of the old Devil May Cries, and now Platinum's repertoire, and Ninja Gaiden, and all that shit, to find games to pull references from. You know, just to see how other successful titles have done the genre well in the past. Could be anyone. It could be anyone.
Yeah.
But,
in fact, I mean, this year's been so good for games that we're seeing a lot of people that are putting their hands in for, like, showing that they give a shit.
Yeah, absolutely. And like I said, the closest right now is probably just Capcom, if they feel like expending the energy. You know, that's the main thing. Anybody else want to hop in?
No, I'm good, man. You pretty much hit the nail on the head. Anyone can really compete with them. It's just a matter of fucking doing it.
Yeah. So, okay, we're going to send this question to the bottom. This one is a little bit good. So, what was the first piece of porn you've witnessed in your life? This one's coming in from Zane Bane Payne on Twitter.
I have an answer to that. I remember.
You do? Hit me with it.
Basic Instincts, back when I was about 3 or 4 years old. I remember it was late at night. It must have been like maybe about
I was not expecting when I was 3 or 4 years old.
I was about like 10 or 11 at night, right?
Yeah.
And my dad was like just sort of like shifting through shows, and he's going through like the list on HBO. And he just lands on Basic Instincts and sticks with it. And by the way, it was the very beginning of Basic Instincts, aka she's fucking the guy.
Yeah.
And I got to see titty, and I got to see a death.
I got to see titty. Mark's first experience was snuff porn. It was 10 or 11 at night. I was 3 or 4 years old. Hot damn. Who else wants to go?
It's really hard to say. Like, I don't remember really. Man, I found some Playboys of my dad's back in the day. Easy peasy. When I was like 6.
I don't
like,
know.
ooh, titty.
I was a late bloomer then. Fuck, these guys coming in with like, I came out the womb looking at just like dark porn, dude.
You're a youngin', dude. Like back in the day, they didn't give a shit. Yeah, nowadays, you got someone sending a complaint. Why do you have? Why are these Playboy magazines that you own on your bookshelf?
I think my first instance was stumbling upon. I think it might have been Anime Titty, actually. Now that I think about it, I may have stumbled upon like the preview section of a pay site called Tit Anime when I was just looking through fucking random AMVs. I was 10 years old at the time on fucking like a busted ass laptop. This thing was such a piece of shit.
Oh man, YouTube was out 10 years ago, dude.
You know my shit had viruses on it. After that, hell fucking yeah. That thing was a minefield. It needed to be HIV tested after that. Holy shit. And what was wacky too is that it was like just I stumbled upon it on the couch. Like just hanging out in the living room. And I was just looking, like, what the fuck is this? Had no idea what but didn't even do sex ed first. Had no clue what Hong Kong long dong shit was going on my monitor. It was wacky. It was terrifying.
What is happening?
Or but yeah, Big Bance comes in with the true shit. I don't think it was Newgrounds. I think I discovered Newgrounds porn after the fact. But that was definitely my earliest documented occurrence. I know.
I wasn't. Yeah, like internet wasn't really big, so like I remember I found like a VHS of my dad's like a long time ago. I was like, whoa, this is dangerous. What's on here, dude? This isn't Lion King, baby. What the fuck?
Or was it though?
It was not.
Took that bitch to Pride Rock. Give her my pride cock.
It wasn't that.
So, Lcart Rules 14 on Twitter asks, what was your personal golden age of video games and why?
Oh, fucking Christ. I missed a whole generation, so it's hard for me to answer.
Well, I think it's
only...
What was that? So, what was your personal golden age of video games and why? And I think it's important that we preface this with when we started playing video games, when this shit began. For me, it was the PlayStation 1 and 64 era. So I started playing, like, my first game I ever played, I think, was Rayman 1. And from there, I splintered off into, like, Mech Warrior and, what was the N64 game I played? But yeah, it was Mario Kart. It was around that time, basically.
So that was your golden age? That was your...
No. That was just when I started.
Oh, okay.
I don't know what my golden age would be. I want to say it's more recent than a lot of people think. Because... my main thing for when I would pick a golden age is, I guess, when I would consider the most good games out at any one time. But that's sort of a slanted question, because it would always be like today, because you don't have to worry about what games are coming out right now. You have an entire backlog of your whole fucking life to pick from, you know? As long as, like, when you're cool with replaying older shit, it's all Gucci in the coochie. That's the main thing. But I guess if you're talking about shit as it's releasing, I don't know. When would that have been? When would that have been?
What year did the PlayStation 1 come out?
That was like 96? Let me look. That sounds too late. Or too early.
Sounds late.
It was 94. Console was released in 94.
Yeah, I didn't get a PlayStation 1 until 95. I remember that. And
I didn't leave my mom
before that we had like
97.
Before that we had a Sega Genesis, and I played the fuck out of that. But is it my golden age? No. I definitely think like my favorite time, because I never had like an N64 or anything like that, was like the PS2 was out, but all PS2s were backwards compatible. So you could pop in your PS1 disc or just play your fucking PS2 game. That shit was tight. That was my golden age. It's hard for me to even say around, like, because I didn't play a video game. Like, I literally played nothing throughout the years 2006 to 2010. So I played nothing but Halo. So I literally I can't even tell you what came out at the time.
I don't know, Poke, you got anything for this?
Oh, I got a shitload. Okay, so, I mean, we want to talk about playing video games. I mean, the first time, I first started playing video games essentially immediately. Before I was born in 87, there was already an Atari 2600 in the house. So coming out of the womb, I sort of fell into a joystick to play a bunch of shitty games because I fucking hate the Atari catalog. I mean, at the time, I was enjoying certain things. Like, there's this one game where there's like a bucket that has to catch bombs. I thought that was actually pretty fucking good. I played the E.T. game. We had it. That was fucking garbage. There was also another one where like I think like cakes or beers were sliding down from the top of the screen down to the bottom, and we had to like catch them so that way the glass wouldn't shatter. Atari had a couple games that were good and a whole shit ton of things that were just fucking awful.
Yeah.
And then I played the NES back when I used to go across the street to a friend Tara. We'd go to Tara's house, and we'd play fucking like Legend of Zelda, play Mario, Super Mario Brothers, and I was like, holy shit, this is me getting into video games now. And I was asking my parents for for a couple years. I was asking my parents, like, can we get like a fucking Nintendo? 1990 rolls around, and I think it was 1990, and the SNES comes out. They get me a release SNES with Super Mario World on it, and I'm in love. But that's not my golden age yet. I enjoyed the SNES era very much. Games like Final Fantasy VI and fucking Legend of the Seven Stars got me into RPGs, but I didn't really comprehend RPGs yet. Right. And then the PlayStation comes around, and the PlayStation era was RPG fucking heaven, and I was comprehending them left and right because I'm growing critical thinking skills.
Comprehending the fuck out of it.
I understood the universe. So I'm getting comprehensive, critical thinking skills, and at the same time I'm being, introduced to more and more RPGs that do more and more cool creative things, which is where my appreciation for them comes from. Not the golden age yet. PS2 era. Holy shit. Like, first of all, what a way to end the 5th gen. They ended the 5th gen with such a fucking bang. Things like fucking Final Fantasy IX and Vagrant Story, Legend of Mana, shit like that, all great. And then the PS2 comes out, and we got shit like... Okay, so I was sort of bleeding into enjoying some other types of games with the PlayStation 1. Like, Cool Borders 2 was a really good snowboarding game, but it was the only snowboarding game I liked at the time. Right. And Tony Hawk was really okay. I liked it a lot, but it still didn't grip me yet. It was with the PS2 that not only was I getting a whole bunch of shit ton of fucking great RPGs, and not only were 3D beat-em-ups finally becoming good, because I didn't like 3D beat-em-ups on the PlayStation 1. I honestly think that shit like something Force, I can't remember what the fuck it's called, like Fighting Force or whatever it was. Yeah. I hated that game. But then you got shit like Devil May Cry, which just completely revolutionized 3D beat-em-ups, and then you had like fucking Ninja Gaiden and all this other really good shit. But also sports games were finally specifically extreme sports games were really landing on their feet and became fucking beautiful. It's why I still pine for like more extreme sports games to come out, because not only are they underrepresented today, but on top of that, we're not getting re-releases of them. On top of that, no one fucking wants to make them. EA Sports Big is dead, and they gave me one of my all-time favorite fucking snowboarding games, SSX. Yes, the original. SSX Tricky is still great. It is, in many ways, objectively better, specifically in gameplay, but what it doesn't really execute as well, to me, is the atmosphere, because like SSX has both really good gameplay and atmosphere. It is such a chill, fun snowboarding game. And then you have like Tony Hawk is better than ever. You have fucking off-road racing shit, like fucking ATX off-road racing, which was just fucking excellent. Aggressive inline skating was a beautiful fucking game. All sorts of bitchin' extreme sports games, on top of a bunch of great fighting games like Guilty Gear XX, on top of shit like fucking Capcom versus SNK, on top of shit like, you see what I'm saying, like just like fucking endless fucking reams of just fantastic fucking games. Final Fantasy was starting to lose interest with me just because I didn't like the new direction they took. Like, got things like 10. But I'll say this, even though 10's story and characters were something that did not appeal to me, its world was something that did not appeal to me, holy shit, the combat system was fucking fantastic. Final Fantasy 12 was something I didn't really play until 2010, but I'm glad that I did, because I wound up fucking adoring it. You had Kingdom Hearts, action RPGs were becoming better than they ever were, thanks to the 6th gen, God, man, the 6th gen, for me, that was the golden age. God damn, that shit was a blow up.
I think the golden age for me would have to be the time when I was in, like, fucking middle and high school, when I didn't have shit to do, and I could just play, like community-focused games like Team Fortress 2 and World of Warcraft with the goons.
Yeah.
Like after or like I came up with like two choices. It would either be that time or it would be like right now when there are just like so many fucking games that I want to play but don't have the time to, because that's like a good problem to have. Like that's, you know, that's golden age material to me. But like really it's the glory days would have to be fucking hopping on the community servers for Team Fortress 2 and just chilling with people, or like fucking exploring and hanging out with the guild mates in World of Warcraft. Like, there was a huge social element to games at one point in my life, and it was just the shit because you got to hang out with a bunch of cool people. That's how I met you guys. That's how I met that's how I met you, Mark. You know, and it's fucking it's nuts to think of how much time I spent in those games. You know, even in Counter-Strike, even though I couldn't play Counter-Strike, I would always go on to like the zombie mod and just hang out with people. You know, it was a great time.
That's I'd honestly probably like super agree with you.
Yeah.
And I definitely do, because I spent 5 years nearly playing Halo 2, 3, and Reach. And I've met so many people. I've legitimately like shook hands with people, like actually met them. And like I have people on there that I've met from like fucking RuneScape. I met somebody like 3 weeks ago. First time I've ever met him in my entire life. But I've known him for fucking 11 years from RuneScape.
Right.
We've never met. He lived in New Zealand. He moved over. He came over here as like on a road trip, and he was like, "Hey, I'm coming through your state. Where do you live at?" I'm like, "Come on, fucking through." And he stayed here for like 3 days. And like the social element that came from that is like next to none for me. Like I'm pretty sure if I never had that shit, I would definitely just be playing my single player games all fucking day, even though nowadays it's hard for me to even get through a single player game without talking to somebody.
Yeah.
Or like hanging out. It's really hard for me. I can't. So fucking tough to just sit there and just play a game now.
Absolutely. And it's just that was an entire phase of like my life. And it's because now you look at it, it's like I still hang out with people, but it's not like you're meeting new people that are cool. It's just the same dudes, and it's good, but we're not playing the same games anymore. Like whereas before I would be able to hang out with Ian on TF2, or you know, there was a period when he was still dating Ava, where we would be able to like go play World of Warcraft together and shit like that. But that was after I already ref for a point. You know, now it's just like those days are sort of gone. You know, we can get them back, but it's difficult to have the same volume of people. You know what I'm saying? So it's a different phase. But definitely the golden years were fucking TF2, World of Warcraft, fucking just hanging out with the Brodies. That was the shit. That was the good boy. That was a good day.
It's funny that it's very funny that your golden years include World of Warcraft, because if you remember, for me, that was sort of my dark period where I was just like, that's where I forsook video games, and then I just played World of Warcraft basically as a job at that point, just to raid. Now, don't get me wrong, I love my time. I love my time in Vanilla WoW and in BC and partially for Wrath of the Lich King, you know. But like, the only reason why I really loved that, aside from the game being better back then, because it really was, but aside from that, also was largely the social element, like you were bringing up. Like my guild mates, I'm still friends with to this day. I've been friends with them for over 10 years. I've known I grew up with these people. You know, like I'm 30 now. Back when I was 18, I met my GM when he was 30. Yeah. So like, it's so weird to be in that position where I remember, or no, maybe it was like about 19, I think, when I met him, 19 or 20. But yeah, like when I met him though, like I remember like I would bring up like a phrase like back in the day, and then he said something that always stuck with me. You don't get a back in the day until you hit 30 years old. Like you can't even say that shit. Don't even try that with me. I was like, oh, all right, good point. You know, and then here I am, 30 years old, and it's like, oh, I understand. You know, like it's crazy like that World of Warcraft was able to bring to my life, of just like growing up as a person through meeting other people who had an influence on me. Yeah.
No, RuneScape's kind of like the same way for me, dog. I was in this clan for like fucking 11 years, and their TeamSpeak is still up. They still got people active. Like there's a couple people that are still actively playing that played when I played, and I go in there and tell them why, stop, run away. But I mean, everyone's still happy to see me because they know who I am. They're like, oh shit, he's here, he's back after fucking 2 years of not playing. Are you gonna play again? No. All right, see ya.
Well, and I guess you could fucking loop like season 1 through 3 of League of Legends in there too. Because that was the, like, after TF2 died out, that was the competitive game that everybody sort of went to after that point. That's where Duffers and Ian went.
That's where I went. Fuck.
Absolutely, you know, it's fucking nutty. It's.
I didn't want to play. I didn't want to play. I didn't want to play Call of Duty anymore competitively, and I needed something new.
Yeah. And it's crazy to think how, like, I could have very easily stayed in that phase had Phantasy Star Online 2 come to the West. Because for a while, that was what Ian and I was playing. But it was, and we were starting, we tried to get you on that, didn't we, Mark? We succeeded. Yes. You played for a bit.
I played for about maybe a total of 15 hours, and I enjoyed it, but just, man, the constant repatching. Oof.
Yeah, and also the time when they just disconnected us, I lost my character, and it's like, you know, fuck off. I don't want to do this shit. I don't want to do it until you, Sega, want to fucking do it. Because I'm sick of losing my shit. Like, that game was great. I love PSO2. But they just refuse. And, like, now, you know, I could get into Final Fantasy 14 and or BDO, but just it's just a different point. You know, it's really difficult to justify, like, all the time commitments I have with other games, being like, yeah, dude, now let's go play an MMO. You know, it's just
Final Fantasy 14 was like the most recent like MMO I got into. Like, I don't know, I got into it about a year and a half ago.
Yeah.
And like I maxed out throughout the last patch, Heaven's Ward, and started to do raids and stuff like that.
Yeah.
And that's all like my plan is for like that game is to max out, get a raid group, and just do it with them whenever they need me, you know.
Right.
And then other than that, don't dive deep. Don't try to fucking get into it at all. Just fucking play the game because it's something to do.
Yeah. And it's, you know, well, keeping up with the PS2 theme. This is from the same person asking us, what is the best RPG for the PlayStation 2? I'm going to start out with Kingdom Hearts 2.
Are you going to land on like Kingdom Hearts 2?
It's got. I was thinking about it while I was on the toilet with Taco Bell ass, and I'm like, you know, could it be any? Because for me at least, could it be anything other than Kingdom Hearts 2? You know, I didn't.
Oh my god.
I'm not really adverse to turn-based RPGs. I just never really played any like the Final Fantasies or whatever. So for me, it's got to be, KH2.
Right. And that's not a bad option. I mean, Kingdom Hearts 2 is fucking fantastic.
Yeah.
Oh man, that is so fucking hard to say because, oh my god, there's so many.
For me, it's definitely KH2. Like, I remember playing KH1, going, "This is the greatest game of all fucking time. I cannot wait for the second game." Spending days, years, getting Calm on my fucking like Game Boy, playing that out, and then getting Kingdom Hearts 2 and going, I can't believe they did it better. And then I try to go play Kingdom Hearts 1 and say this game is fucking trash. I still can't play Kingdom Hearts 1. I fucking hate that because KH2 has fucking tainted me into that point because that's such a fucking good game.
Good ass game.
Absolutely.
Oh, it's so hard to think for me what would be the best PS2 RPG. Jesus Christ.
It's tough.
That was funny. It's funny because
that question's only easier than what's the best PS1 RPG. Like, that's the only harder question you could possibly fucking ask me. Jesus Christ.
What is it? Yeah, I remember BB asking me. He was like, why do you even hate KH1 so much? I was like, I don't fucking know. I just don't like it. Kingdom Hearts 2 is better. And he goes, let me guess, you played KH2 first. It was like, no. I played Kingdom Hearts 1 on release pretty much. Like a month after it came out in the West, and he was like, "Oh, did you play Calm at all? Like, did you understand Kingdom Hearts?" Yep, I played it on release. And he was like, "So you still think Kingdom Hearts 2 is just more fun to play?" Yep, 100%.
Yeah,
it's the better game.
Oh my god, that's so fucking hard.
Dude, watching this Yuzu really makes me want to play Unil.
I have it on PC, but I don't have Unist. Do you have Unist?
Is it out?
It's out in the Japs. You can
Can I get it on fucking Steam?
I don't know when. but Unio is out on Steam right now. That's where I played it.
Yeah, I want to play ST.
ST is supposedly coming to Steam later this year when it comes out for like Western PS4.
Oh, that's annoying.
Yeah, right. Well, fuck.
I don't have a PS4 stick anymore, so.
Jap's been had that shit, so.
Yeah. I gotta get me a neat Toki.
I need to fucking mod my stick. Get some art on it. I need to figure out what I want to do though.
Yeah, I'm gonna buy me a neat Toki. One of them Korean ones.
One of them fucking K ones. All right.
Yeah.
Also, I think we're gonna wrap it up with this question. So, Pokey, you must choose. I know he's sitting there.
All right, I'm looking up a list of like PS2 RPGs right now because there's like a million of them, and many of them are so fucking good.
He's glancing over at his library, stroking his beard.
Yeah, I have to stroke that beard.
Gotta. For me, it's easy because I don't play as many.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, I didn't play many RPGs. I didn't have. Well, yes, I did actually. May I shut my fucking mouth? JRPGs I didn't play a lot of.
Dark Cloud 1 and 2. There's Champions of Norath. There's Dark Alliance 1 and 2. Jesus Christ, dude! Stop with all the good RPGs. You're fucking killing me here. Oh my god. Oh, fuck.
Oh, fuck.
It hurts. It hurts because, like, quality like this does not come in the same abundance anymore. Shit.
No, it don't.
Oh my god. Best. Best? Oh, fuck.
God, seeing these Akatsuki combos is fucking cool. I really like playing as Akatsuki.
Really?
Yeah.
I like Nanase.
I tried out all the different characters, and so far the one that clicked with me, like, Yuzuria was cool, but she's fucking...
Yuzu's hard.
Yeah, that's the thing. Yuzu's really fucking difficult, and if I just want to figure out how the game works on a fundamental level, it might be smarter to just stick with Akatsuki. But he's like...
I've been playing like...
Unio.
I was playing, oh yeah, Akatsuki was fucking... I played Ori, Nanase, and Merkova.
Yeah, I had a little bit of fun with Merkava. He was the character that I was able to sort of open up Hilda with, because the person...
Oh yeah, I like Hilda. I never learned how to play her, but every time I play her, I go, I fucking want to play her so bad.
Well,
I do. Hilda's so fun.
When I first played, I never played fucking tutorial mode or training mode or anything like that. I get into a match
either.
like fucking Akatsuki.
I was just like fucking auto combo, baby.
Akatsuki versus a Hilda player, like Platinum played Hilda, and I'm like, you're fucking gay. I can't get in.
She literally doesn't let you.
I know.
Her character design is don't. Stay full screen, have fun.
Can you not?
Full screen don't.
It'd be cool if you didn't do that thing. Now it's like
Yeah.
easy because like I know you can sort of duck under some of the moves and get in a little bit, but still.
Yeah, Hilda got a little. I don't know. I want to see some of the new characters in the game. See how they play.
I want to see what they did to Gordio.
Oh, I forgot Bard's Tale was...
Well, whatever they did to him, I hope they just made him unplayable.
He looks cool though. I don't know.
Dude, he was so...
I know he was busted. I saw the fucking videos. I know he's great, but still, like, he looks too
great.
cool.
He was the game.
He looks too cool, dude. Come on.
That's why, like, everyone hated it, dude.
Help a homie
because he
out.
ran the game. That's why Unil died.
Help a brother out.
Alright, you want to know what the best PS2 RPG is?
Hit me with it.
Take a shot in the dark, pick one and go with it.
Yeah?
Okay.
That's pretty much what it boils down to. There's many fucking excellent RPGs, and then there's a couple shitters. Avoid things like fucking Orphan. Orphan was fucking terrible. The first Summoner's pretty bad, the second Summoner's okay. It's not a bad game. But that's pretty much what it boils down to. Just like, look for what's trash, don't play the trash. Look for what's great, which is basically everything else. Play it. God, I can't say there's a best RPG. There's so many good, like... There's so many good action RPGs, so many good turn-based RPGs. There's so many good hack and slashes, in the original sense of the term, as in, like, you know, there's isometric RPGs that are all about, like, killing a bunch of fools and then getting golden loot, and then going back to the tail, or going back to the town, so that way you can look at the fucking...
Yeah, I love
the barmaid's titties. Borderlands.
You know what pisses me off, dude?
What?
Like, when I was a kid, when my dad was out at work in England, actually, and in New Jersey, because we knew them from there too. In England, whenever my dad would go out and he would need to like do work or we wouldn't have school, we'd have to go over to somebody's house, like one of my dad's workmates, like wives' house, and we'd hang out there, and I'd be able to play on his PS2. And it turns out my dad's friend was a fucking weeb because he had all these Japanese exclusive ports of just like RPGs that he would play, and he had a Japanese PS2, so he'd play the shit out of them, right?
Right.
And I didn't know about this, and I played so many really good JRPGs that I don't fucking know what they are because I was fucking 9. That just ain't you.
That's what happens.
All right. I think that does it for this episode of the podcast. I think viewer questions went really... I don't know if we're going to do as many. If I didn't get to your question, it's either because I didn't think it would work well, or because I'll just save them for next time. I'll keep the threads in mind, and I'll go back and check them. Also, fair to point out, the new Bonfire Lit YouTube channel is active. It has last week's episode uploaded to it right now, and I think that's that might be as far back as I go. I don't know, but yeah, that's where you're gonna go to get VODs now. I'll post that on my Twitter at VashTSB. Keep an eye out for the next thread where you guys can post viewer questions again. That's really about it. Let's go find someone to host. Let's go look for the raid target. BB's playing Osu. I see that. Who else? Is anybody playing an anime game? Ooh, we could go... Oh, okay, you guys have a choose your own adventure. You could go watch either Blaze Blue or Osu. You have 2 anime options.
Blaze Blue.
Blaze Blue? I see one for Blaze Blue.
I'm sorry. BB's fun and all, but
Blaze
it's Osu.
Well,
give me fucking Blaze Blue.
Let me see who because this is a... tournament at 4 p.m. PST. Oh, so a Blaze Blue online tournament's about to be happening soon. This is by Escaping Workforce, and he is a... Oh, I don't know if he's playing on this one, but there's a Naoto plan. Naoto's cool. Like, I play a little bit of Blaze Blue CF, and I like Naoto too. There are a lot of characters that I like playing in Blaze Blue, actually. Oh, that game is fucking hard. That game is dumb difficult. Did you play Blaze Blue, Asa?
Yes, I do. We could play right now.
Whoo-wee! That'd be fun as fuck.
On a PC or PS4, though? That's the question.
PC.
I got it on PS4.
Oh, fuck. Well, you don't
Sorry, my son.
Oh, that's alright.
I think that game's actually Legacy.
Is it?
I think so. Could be wrong, though.
In either case. That's it. Yeah, I think we'll go ahead and host the Blaze Blue stream. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
Just so you guys can go watch some anime fighters.
Anime.
Have a great day, guys. I'll see you guys for the next stream.
Peace.
Are you offline?
Yeah.
Blacks. Darks. Yeah. I hate them.
Wow.
Ah!
Charlottesville's that way, fool.
We were having a discussion about that today at work. We were thinking, there's really still people out there in this day and age, as of right now, that are going, well, them fucking niggers need to get out of here.